KSW presents the Philadelphia Phillies three-game show, brought to you by the brokerage firm of Janney Montgomery Scott and by Woolco Department Stores.
If you live in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, or New York, the income from your investments is subject to three forms of taxation: federal income taxes, state income taxes, and the cruelest income tax of all, inflation. What's the answer? The brokerage firm of Janney Montgomery Scott has been helping investors reduce tax payments and increase income for more than 7 generations. One of Janney's newest investment opportunities is currently earning 8.2% a year. But its best feature is that it's guaranteed by the federal government and free of both state and local taxes. So your actual spendable income from the investment, subject to stock market fluctuations, will be substantially more than what you get from a taxable 5% bank savings account. If you want to protect your investment income from taxes and inflation, call Janney Montgomery Scott. They're in the yellow pages under stockbrokers. Now, Janney can help you get a better outcome from your income.
Rich Ashburn from the Astrodome in Houston. The Phillies and the Houston Astros in a short 2-game series. It's going to be Joe Niekro going for Houston tonight against right-hander Larry Christenson. My guest is Houston manager Bill Verdon. Bill, you're in last place, and of course, a lot of people, including Sparky Anderson and Tom Lasorda, thought you were going to be a contender. I know you must be a little disappointed at this point.
Well, we haven't played as well as we thought we would going into the season. But the only thing I can say is just it's been a little bit of everything. It's been partially pitching, partially defense, and partially clutch hitting. We just haven't put them together, and consequently, we're where we stand today.
You have a lot of young players now. Of course, when you're down there in the standings and you have young players, it generally means you're trying to rebuild your ball club. You see any of these young kids that can help you in the next few years?
Well, we feel like the youngsters can help, or they wouldn't be here. You know, we got to start out with Puhl, who has done an outstanding job. He's a youngster, but we don't consider him a trial situation. He's pretty well established in left field. I think where we're really experimenting to some extent right now is at shortstop with Landestoy and Fichlin and Sexton. We got 3 people that have some tools, and none of them really have stood out to this point. We just got Landestoy and just now initially putting him in the lineup and letting him play a few games. He's shown some signs of being able to do several things, but whether he can play shortstop or not in the big leagues consistently, regularly, we'll have to wait and see.
Do all these kids you bring up, do they have outstanding minor league records? Have they, gone through the trial and period time that you need in the minor leagues? Or do you think maybe that you bring them up too quick?
Well, I don't. They don't all have outstanding records in the minor leagues, if that's what you're asking. As far as how much time they spend in the minor leagues, some of them have spent. Look at the young catcher who's spent several years in the minor leagues. Hasn't really caught a lot, but he's been around a while. And really, I think he'd been a lot better off if he was able to catch more games earlier in his career. Now, he's only 22 years old, but he's been about 6 years in the minor leagues. But I think the problem with that is he never got to catch much. He was hurt to some extent a couple years, and then behind somebody in another year. And so up to this point, even though he's got 5 or 6 years experience, he don't have any playing time. And I think it does hurt him, yes. If they could spend 5 big years in the minor leagues, play 130 or 40 games, so everybody would be better off. I know that's what we did when I was breaking in.
We're talking to manager Bill Verdon. Bill, what's the latest on Cedeno? We understand that he is out, for the year?
Well, he's out to the middle of September, and very likely most of the year, because there's going to be some question whether it's worthwhile to get him back active at that point in the season or not. It'll depend on his physical ability and his ability to get the knee back in shape in order to be able to play.
How did he get hurt?
Sliding into second, he tried to hold up on a slide and tore a ligament in on his knee.
Talking to manager Bill Verdon of the Houston Astros. Bill, the Dodgers and Reds are hanging in there. The Giants are in first place in your division, National League West. Who do you like?
Well, I like Cincinnati. But the more San Francisco plays, the more they seem to be getting the job done, and they're gaining a lot of support, I think, over the season. I just think that they lack some defense, and I think it's going to catch up with them before the year's over.
I know that Cincinnati has played well against your club. Why, other than that, why Cincinnati say over the Dodgers?
I like Cincinnati's club on the field. I think that they're 8 people that they play every day if they're healthy. If they don't get healthy, if Bench don't get healthy, and Morgan don't stay healthy, then they're going to have problems. But if they stay healthy, I don't think anybody can touch them personnel-wise on the field. The secret to their playing and winning is their pitching. And of late, they've been getting some pitching, and other times, their starters are a little shaky, but they've been getting good relief from Bear and Tomlin and Bourbon, and that seems to be carrying them. And if they can get some starting pitching, I think they'll win. The Dodgers, they're just not playing as well as they did last year. I don't like them near as well as they did last year. Of course, they had the big year, and everybody had the good years, but I think they're a little short. And Smith's not 100%, and Russell's been erratic, and I don't know. I just like Cincinnati.
Talking to Bill Verdon, Bill, I know you like to win. How are you holding up personally? Are you getting many laughs?
Well, there's not many laughs when you lose. And it makes a long season out of it, but that's part of baseball. It's something that everybody has to go through one time or the other. I've gone through it as a player, and I've been on both ends of it, so there's only one place to have any fun in this game, that's on the top side.
Bill Verdon, my guest. I'm Rich Ashburn, and I'll be back in a moment.
Woolco wants to be your favorite store. We want to be. Woolco wants to be your favorite store.
It's summer, and summer brings hot, tired, perspiring feet. No matter what your summer foot problems may be, Dr. Scholl's has the answer. Woolco carries the full line of Dr. Scholl's foot care products, like dry antiperspirant foot spray that helps stop wetness and odor. A 5-ounce spray can is only $1.67 this week at Woolco. There's also Dr. Scholl's odor-destroying insoles with activated charcoal to help keep feet dry and odor-free. Pick up a pair today at Woolco for only 88 cents. Come on in and check out the complete Dr. Scholl's Foot Care Center at Woolco today.
We want to be. Woolco wants to be your favorite store. We want to be. Woolco wants to be your favorite store.
Bill Verdon, my guest, and for visiting with us, Bill will receive a beautiful Seiko watch from the Seiko Collection and Gimbals. The Phillies have a 5-game lead over the second-place Chicago Cubs. The Cubs lost this afternoon to the Dodgers. Stay tuned for our ball game coming up shortly.
You've been listening to the Philadelphia Phillies pregame show, brought to you by the brokerage firm of Janney Montgomery Scott. Janney can help you get a better outcome from your income. And by Woolco Department Stores. They want to be your favorite store.
The look that's love is out of sight. Two together. All right.
Glah Brothers, a love company for the look that's love with the feel of elegance. Come to any of the 20 Glah Brothers stores and select your formal from the latest selection in After Sticks and Palm Beach formal wear. Sizes 4 to 64, jade green to bamboo beige, from Canton blue to silver gray. Now, with a wedding party of 5 or more, Glah provides a free tuxedo rental for the groom. Glah represents the ultimate in tailoring, caring, and servicing. Glah Brothers, a love company for the look that's love with the feel of elegance.
Super. Starlight. The look that's love.
KYW Sports, Los Angeles Dodger pitcher Don Sutton is off the hook as far as the National League is concerned. League President Chub Feeney says there will be no suspension or other disciplinary action against Sutton, who was ejected from a game Friday night. Umpires charged he was scarring the baseballs before pitching them. Feeney says the ejection was appropriate and sufficient punishment. Baltimore Orioles pitching ace Jim Palmer and manager Earl Weaver reportedly have made up. Angry words passed between the two again Saturday night when Palmer was shelled from a game against Texas in the 5th inning after giving up 8 hits and 6 runs. Seattle fullback Tony Benjamin has failed to pass the team physical, and when the Seahawks opened training camp in Cheney, Washington, Doctors say Benjamin is not fully recovered from off-season knee surgery. They feel that with workouts, he should be ready in 2 or 3 weeks. The New York Jets have claimed the safety Steve Jackson on waivers from the Oakland Raiders. Their former LSU player appeared in 8 games for Oakland last year, including 2 playoff games. And the NBA Atlantic Hawks have signed a former Kentucky forward Jack Gibbons to a multi-year contract. This is KYW Philadelphia 1060, News Radio in the Delaware Valley.
Have you got the Phillies?
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Tasty Cake, whose cakes, pies, and cookies give you over 30 delicious ways to take a tasty break. Tasty Cake, all the good things wrapped up in one. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer, where you get Grand Slam deals on the most complete lineup of new cars in your area. By MAB Paints for the best in paint and painting advice. Think of MAB and the more than 300 MAB Paint stores, dealers, and Rich Lux Home Centers. And by Girard Bank, where George lets you be the banker night and day, every day. By the people in your town who bottle Coca-Cola. From the top of the first to the very last out, Coke adds life to baseball enjoyment. And by Acme Super Saver Markets, home of super savings every day. You're going to like it here at Acme Super Saver. By Champion Spark Plugs. Treat your car to a fresh set of Champions. They're the world's #1 seller, and you can't buy a better plug than Champion.
The Astrodome in Houston, where tonight the Phillies meet the Houston Astros. I'm Andy Musser, along with Rich Ashburn and Harry Callis, and tonight the Phils open a very brief 2-game series here. The last time they were in Houston, they won only 1 of the 4 games played here. And tonight, Larry Christenson will pitch for the Phillies against Joe Niekro, who didn't get anybody out in his first performance here. Rich?
Well, this is kind of Death Valley for Phillies hitters here in Houston, but it is a short series. We are standing right now for the playing of our national anthem. Singing the national anthem here in the Astrodome. The Phillies are leading the Cubs by 5 full games. The Cubs lost this afternoon. The lineups are being handed out. We'll come back and give you starting lineups for tonight's ball game in just a moment.
Chrysler LeBaron's a good combination. It's a car sized for today's living, yet loaded with luxury. It gives you your money's worth of sensibly sized style. And your choice of 3 models, a young stylish 2-door, a classic 4-door, and the new LeBaron Town & Country wagon. The difference between this wagon and any other is luxury. Why drive a car that doesn't feel great? Why not get your money's worth of style and luxury? When LeBaron gives you all this, why settle for anything less?
Well, I remember way back in 52, and those magic moments with Mary Lou, hanging out at the drive-in in my 57 Ford V8. That was long ago, now times have changed. My priorities have been rearranged.
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Pinto gets better mileage than your Pinto.
Yeah? Tell me, what do you got in that thing?
Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion Plus.
Oh, wow. Hey, I got a split. I just remembered I got to get a hair transplant, right? Hey, times change.
Buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion, #1 in the world, #1 in your car.
In Houston, we're ready to start the ball game. For play-by-play action, let's go to Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Andy. Good evening, everyone. Bake McBride leading off for the Phillies. He's hitting .267, facing the knuckleballer, Joe Niekro. Joe Niekro ready to work at Montague, the plate umpire. And the first pitch to Bake is a knuckleball that's over for a strike call. Montague behind the plate, Harry Wendelstedt at first, Dutch Renard at second, and the third base umpire is Lee Wire. Here's Niekro's one-strike pitch. Other knuckler is low and inside for a ball, and the count 1-1 to Bake McBride. Phillies have had their problems here in this ballpark. The Phillies are 2-4 this year against Houston, 1-3 here in the Astrodome. And in the 6 games played, the Phillies, the team, have hit only .214. Pitch to Bake, line drive, hit left center field. Puhl over to chase it down. Bake heading for second base and goes in standing with a double. So Bake McBride leads off the Phillies first with a line double to left center field. Fans, this broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Philadelphia Phillies solely for the entertainment of our listening audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Phillies is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are employed by WPHL-TV and are subject to the approval of the Phillies. Here's Larry Bowa. Bowa hitting .298. Niekro stretches. McBride a good-sized lead at second base, and Rafael Landestoy, the shortstop, tries to sneak in behind him, and Niekro steps off the rubber. Bowa to be followed by Garry Maddox, then Greg Luzinski. Here's a pitch to Larry. Dropped the bat as if to bunt and took a pitch on the outside corner for a strike call. Following Luzinski, Richie Hebner at third base, Jose Cardenal at first base. Barry Foote is catching tonight. Bob Boone is under the weather. Ted Sizemore at second base, and the pitcher Larry Christenson. One strike to Bowa. The stretch by Niekro. And the pitch to Larry. Drops the bat as if to bunt again and takes low for a ball. It's 1-1. Houston with a new-look lineup. They're going with their young players. Enos Cabell, the regular at third base. They have Rafael Landestoy at shortstop. Art Howe at second and Bob Watson at first. Rookie Luis Pujols behind the plate. There's a bunt try by Bowa, and he bunts it foul. So Niekro is in front of Larry Bowa, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The outfield, Dave Bergman is in left field, Terry Puhl in center, and Jose Cruz in right. The Astros have had kind of a disappointing year. They are in last place in National League West by 1 game behind Atlanta. McBride second base and nobody out. Bake takes a good-sized lead. Niekro looks at him. Now steps off the rubber. So McBride is getting a big lead, and Niekro stepping off and trying to keep Bake closer. Falling 2 strikes to Bowa. The stretch by Niekro. 1-2 pitch, a knuckleball slammed into center field, but Puhl is right there and makes the catch. Well, a hit ball by Bowa, caught by Terry Puhl. 1 down, that'll bring on Garry Maddox. Maddox is hitting .295. Fans, during tonight's Phillies game, each Philly that homers receives a free case of Tasty Cake, and 1 also for the Shriners Hospital for crippled children. And the same goes for the winning Phillies pitcher. And now you can win even more money in the Daily News Home Run Payoff because this season, every hit pays off. Tonight's payoff inning will be the 8th inning. Bake McBride at second base, 1 down. Niekro stretches, a pick-off throw at second base, and Bake is out at second base. Sneaking in behind him, second baseman Art Howe, and Bake is shaken up. 1-4. McBride is picked off. Niekro to Art Howe, and Phillies trainer Don Seeger coming out to see if Bake's all right. He is still down.
He was not only picked off, he was blocked off. Howe had to go on the third base side of second to get the tag, and kind of falling over the bag, fell right into McBride, kind of a head-on collision. I believe Bake hit Howe's shoulder somewhere. Bake never did get to the bag. And Bake is still down. I would guess it's an arm or a shoulder. Trainer Don Seeger is out there now. Bake just started his head-first slide back, and Howe hit him. I mean, he really hit him hard. It wasn't an intentional hit. Howe was just going for the ball, but in fielding the ball, it took him right head-on into McBride.
Bill Bake is still down at second base. Picked off, Niekro to Howe, and he is shaken up. Phillies trainer Don Seeger still working on him. Manager Danny Ozark is out there, and Bake is still on the ground. Let's check the Major League scoreboard this afternoon. The Dodgers beat the Cubs by a score of 4-3. The win went to Terry Forster, and the loss to Rick Russell. No home runs in that game. And the first of 2 at Atlanta. The Braves lead New York 1-0 at the end of 7. That only run coming on Dale Murphy's solo home run, his 13th of the year. Gene Garber is now in there for Atlanta in the 8th inning. Pittsburgh has jumped on Gaylord Perry for 4 runs in the first. And at the end of 1, it's Pittsburgh 4, San Diego 1. Bruce Keeson pitching for the Pirates. Montreal scored 3 off Fred Norman in the first inning. At Cincinnati knocked him out. Pedro Bourbeau now in there. It's 3-0 at the end of 1. And all 3 coming on homers. A 2-run shot by Ellis Valentine, his 16th, and Tony Perez hit number 8. San Francisco leads St. Louis 1-0 after 1 behind Bob Nepper. He's going against John Denny. Bake McBride is on his feet now and being led back to the dugout by Danny Ozark and Don Seeger, the Phillies trainer. And Bake is kind of clutching at his shoulder, it looks like. Right shoulder. We'll get a report as soon as it is available from Phillies trainer Don Seeger, but the Phillies could ill afford the loss of Bake. 2 outs, no base runners. Here's Garry Maddox as play resumes. Niekro's pitch to Garry. Swing and a fly ball to deep left field, but this is a big yard. It's going to be caught easily by Dave Bergman. You really got to pound the ball to get it out of here. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. It's Phillies 0. The Astros coming to bat.
Offering you a chance to buy the Phillies Way souvenir book for just $1.49. This colorful book features playing tips from your favorite Phillies, plus a complete set of Phillies baseball cards. Think of it, the entire Phillies team all under one cover. Just try to match that with regular baseball cards. And when you visit your MAB paint store, dealer, or Rich Lux Home Center, you will get more years per gallon of the MAB Seashore House paint. You can't buy better paint. The Phillies in MAB, great in 78.
Happy to report that Bake McBride is all right. He's out in right field, so he continues in the ball game. Houston lineup will read like this. Rafael Landestoy will lead off at shortstop. Terry Puhl, the center fielder, bats second. Enos Cabell at third base, hitting third. Jose Cruz in right field will bat fourth. Bob Watson, the first baseman, hitting fifth. Art Howe at second base, bats sixth. Dave Bergman in left field, batting seventh. Luis Pujols, the catcher, Pujols, hitting eighth, and Joe Niekro, the pitcher. Larry Christenson on the mound. In the American League tonight, the end of 3 at Baltimore. Texas 0 and Baltimore 0. That's Steve Comer against Mike Flanagan. Kansas City leads the Yankees 1-0 in the second inning on a Darrell Porter home run, his 8th of the year. That's Paul Splittorff against Catfish Hunter. Chicago and Milwaukee, 0-0 at the end of one. Francisco Barrios against Mike Caldwell. Minnesota and Boston just underway. Dave Goltz against Luis Tiant. They're having some rain problems in Boston. Here's switch hitting Rafael Landestoy. Larry Christenson on the mound for the Phillies. LC has won 6, lost 8. Here's a pitch to Landestoy, and he swings and he misses. 1 strike to Rafael Landestoy. He came from the Los Angeles Dodgers organization in the Joe Ferguson deal. Switch hitter. Pitch to Landestoy is high, a fastball. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch to Landestoy is high again, ball 2. It's 2-1. Montreal scored 2 more runs at Cincinnati. They now lead the Reds 5-0 in the second. Landestoy pops a foul back up and just below it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rafael Landestoy. Christenson is 0-1 this year against Houston in 2 starts. Lifetime, he is 7-4. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a fly ball into shallow left field. Luzinski coming on, and Greg makes the catch. Landestoy is out, 1 down. That'll bring on Terry Puhl, the center fielder. Puhl is the 10th leading hitter in the National League and was Houston's representative in the All-Star game in San Diego. Terry is hitting .301. Puhl has hit well against the Phillies. Coming into the league last year, Puhl hitting Phillies pitching at a .406 clip. Here's a pitch to him and a push bunt, but Christenson on it quickly. Throws, and Puhl is out by a stride. Christenson making a good play on the bunt for out number 2, and that'll bring on Enos Cabell. Cabell, the third baseman, hitting .292.
Have a special birthday tonight, Harry. An old friend. Yes. Dennis Conner, 32 years old, has a vested interest in the Phillies organization.
All right. Happy birthday, Dennis. Swing and a miss at a good slider by Christenson. 1 strike to count to Enos Cabell with 2 outs and no base runners. Tomorrow night, Jim Lombor goes against Big J.R. Richard. And we're back home on Wednesday night against the Cincinnati Reds. Here's the 1 strike pitch. Swing and a hard ground ball, but it's at Ted Sizemore, and it goes right through him and into center field. Be an error on Ted Sizemore on a sharply hit ball, but it was right at him, and somehow it got through him. So Cabell is at first base with 2 outs. He bears watching. He's stolen 20 bases. Houston will run a lot. They have 90 stolen bases as a team, second in the National League only to the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's Jose Cruz, the right fielder. He's hitting .276. Christenson throws to first base, and Cruz and Cabell is back. Now the stretch by LC. There goes the runner. Swing and a bouncing ball to Sizemore. He has it on a big hop. Throws, and Cruz is out. For Houston in the first, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. And at the end of 1, Phillies nothing, Astros nothing.
And Jersey Auto Stores, where you can ride on Goodyear products and win a ride in the Goodyear blimp.
Drop a pitcher and recall until they're fully Gonzalez.
While we move to the second inning, Greg Luzinski to lead off for the Phils. A reminder that Joe Morgan, John Bench, George Foster, Pete Rose, and all the Reds will be in at Veterans Stadium Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7:35. Tickets remain for that series with Cincinnati. They'll be followed in by the Houston Astros. We have a twilight doubleheader with Houston starting at 5:35. Saturday night a single game at 7:35 with the Astros, and Sunday afternoon will be Poncho Day. 3 Phillies ponchos to all youngsters 14 or under. Phils and the Astros at 1:35 on Sunday. And July 24th, 25th, and 26th, the Atlanta Braves move in, starting at 7:35 all 3 nights, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And After the game on Wednesday night, a gigantic sky show, which they say is really outstanding. So mark it down on your calendar, Wednesday night the 26th. Greg Luzinski hitting .236, 21 homers, 55 runs batted in. Takes an inside knuckleball, 1-0 to count to the bull. Landestoy, the shortstop, shading him in the hole. Outfield is well around to the left and deep. 1-0 pitch to the bull is low, ball 2. It's 2-0. Wind up by Joe Niekro, and the 2-0 pitch is inside. Another knuckleball, 3-0. He has missed with 3 straight knuckleballs. Niekro, the younger brother of Atlanta Braves Phil Niekro. Knuckleball doesn't dance quite as much as Phil's, but he does rely on it. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Luzinski. A fastball grounded to third baseman Enos Cabell, and now Luzinski, whose bat was hit by Luis Pujols. That'll be catcher's interference and an error on Pujols. He hit the ball pretty sharply to Enos Cabell, but Pujols hit Greg's bat with his glove for an error.
I think Greg hitting 3-0 may have surprised the catcher a little bit and may have gotten that mid out there on the 3-0 pitch got it out there a little too fast.
There's Richie Hebner hitting .276. 9 homers, 35 runs batted in. Luzinski at first base, nobody out in the second of a 0-0 ball game. Niekro's pitch to Hebner, swing and a fly ball center field. Terry Puhl is right there waiting, and he puts it away. Hebner is out on 1 pitch, 1 down. That'll bring on Jose Cardenal. Cardenal is hitting .312. Jose has been hot in the last 10 games. He's hitting at a .433 clip. Jose has hit 4 home runs, knocked in 27 runs. Greg Luzinski, first base, 1 down, second inning.
Cardenal is really, he hasn't carried the club, but he's come up with a lot of key base hits.
Pitch to Jose is a knuckleball that's very low for a ball. 1-0 to Cardenal. Niekro stretches, and the pitch to Jose is over for a strike called at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cardenal. Joe Niekro stretches. There goes Luzinski swinging a foul back. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Jose Cardenal. The hit and run was on. Greg moving on the pitch, fouled off by Cardenal. First game at Atlanta is over, and the Braves have defeated the New York Mets by a score of 3-0. Game 1 of their twilight doubleheader. Atlanta's 11th win in their last 16 games. Niekro stretches, pitch to Cardenal. A knuckleball is outside, and it's 2-2. Niekro last year spent most of the season in the bullpen. Then, latter part of the season, he was moved into the starting rotation and pitched well. 113 had lost 8 last year. He had 14 starts, and out of the 14 starts, he pitched 9 complete games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside for a ball. It's a full count. 3-2 to Cardenal. Barry Foote, the catcher, waiting on deck. Now the stretch by Niekro. Luzinski is breaking, and it's pop foul out of play. Luzinski running on the 3-2 pitch will come back to first base with 1 down. Count remains 3-2 to Jose Cardenal. Now the stretch by Niekro. Luzinski going again. A check swing is low for a ball. Or no, I guess Cardenal offered at it. He is struck out, and Luzinski steals second base. Greg's 7th stolen base of the year. Cardenal is out on strikes for the first strikeout for Niekro, and that's 2 down. That'll bring on Barry Foote. So Greg, by far his career high in stolen bases, his 7th of the year. Barry Foote hitting .208. There's a stretch by Niekro, and the pitch to Foote, a knuckleball, bounced to the shortstop Landestoy. He has it in guns to first. A low throw dug out by Bob Watson. And the Phillies are out in the second. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We move to the bottom of the second. Phil's nothing and Houston nothing.
In today's sophisticated world, owners of prestige luxury cars have become very discerning. Perhaps that's why many Cadillac owners are switching to Lincoln Continental. There could be some good reasons. Example, EPA ratings show Continental has more interior passenger room and trunk space than Cadillac DeVille. In fact, Lincoln Continental is rated as the roomiest passenger car built in America. What's more, Continental is having one of its most successful sales years ever. Lincoln Continental. It's the car many Cadillac owners are switching to at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
I've got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes, I'm always under the hood. But I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. But you can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. No, you can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. No, you can't.
Bob Watson leads off for Houston here in the bottom of the second. Watson hitting .288, 9 homers, 55 runs batted in. It's so accustomed to Bob Watson having great year upon great year that people say they've been a little disappointed in Watson, but he has pretty good stats. He swings and grounds a foul down the third base side where it's chased down by Bob Lillis, the third base coach. Now we saw an old buddy here in the press room tonight, Jim the Bear Owen, stopped by to say hello. Bear now living in Houston, ex-Phil and ex-Houston Astro and ex-Houston pitching coach. 1 strike pitch is outside for a ball, 1-1. You were a teammate of the Bear during the Dalton gang years.
Right, he was one of the best-looking young pitchers you ever saw come to the major leagues. He never quite did what they thought he would do, but he was a good-looking pitcher for, well, a few years, and then he got, well, I don't think I ought to get into that.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball. Let's pause here for station identification on the Phil's Baseball Network.
This is News Radio in the Delaware Valley, KYW 1060 Philadelphia. Here at 9:01 in the evening, it's clear skies and 76 degrees on Independence Mall.
Here's Art Howe, the second baseman. He has hit safely in 7 straight games. He's batting .284. 1 out, nobody on base. Second inning, 0-0 ball game. Christensen's pitch to Howe is low for a ball. 72 degrees here in the Astrodome. Pitch to Howe, a foul down the third base side. Outside, it's about 100. They're really having some kind of drought here in Texas, especially around the Dallas area. They have really had warm temperatures. I think this is something like 15 straight days where it's been over 90 degrees. Here's the 1-1 pitch. swing and a drive down the left field line, curving foul and out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Howe. Well, I'll tell you, Rich, that must have been something playing an old Colt stadium and the heat here in Houston.
Played a Sunday doubleheader in that stadium one time, and they must have carried 100 people out of that ballpark.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball in and out of the glove of Barry Foote. Stays 1-2 to Howe with 1 out.
The biggest mosquitoes down here I've ever seen in my life. We used to put that mosquito repellent on and we'd use a case of it, and those mosquitoes would suck up that repellent like candy.
It probably did have a sugar base. It was provided by the Houston Club. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Checked his swing and it's low. It's a full count.
You know, your legs after a ball game would actually be bloody from mosquito bites.
That's right. Well, you got to watch these insects here in Houston. Got some man-eating ants around here, too. Here's a line drive into right center field, base hit. Bake McBride gets it back into the infield, and Howe now is hit safely in 8 straight games. That'll bring on Dave Bergman, the left fielder. Bergman primarily a first baseman. Bergman came from the New York Yankees organization, the deal that sent Cliff Johnson to the Yankees. They also got young shortstop Mike Fishland. Hard ground ball up the middle, past Sizemore, base hit. Heading for third base, Howe. Maddox throw, not in time. A close play at third, but the Astros have runners at first and third. So back-to-back singles by Howe and Bergman, and Houston has a second-inning threat. That'll bring on Luis Pujols, the catcher.
Art Howe gambled going from first to third. The ball was hit sharply right at Maddox. Garry got off a good, accurate throw, but Howe getting in just underneath the throw to Hebner.
Here's Luis Pujols, the catcher. Just 20 years old, a right-hand hitter out of the Dominican Republic, and the pitch to him grounded to second might be 2. To ball 1, relay. Yep, they turn the double play easily. So Pujols grounds into an inning-ending double play. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Out of the end of 2, it's Phillies nothing and Houston nothing. Now it's time for a tasty break.
Tasty cake is a day in spring, a brand new love or golden ring. Tasty cake is the morning sun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one. Tasty cake is a gift to see, a song they sing for you and me. Tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
True Blue Phillies fans already know there never was a better baseball team than those fantastic Phillies. And True Blue Pie fans know there never was a better tasting packaged pie than Tasty Cake Pie. Tasty Cake Pies taste so good because we fresh bake them with real apples, cherries, peaches, and blueberries, with real lemon custard, too. Tantalizing Tasty Cake Pies. Like the Phillies, they're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Following the Phillies-Braves game on Wednesday, July 26th, the Phils will present a spectacular, colorful sky show, which will incorporate laser beams, fireworks, and music done to a theme of Star Wars. This beautiful sky show has been featured in other stadiums around the country and has been a tremendous hit. So get your tickets now for the Phils-Braves game on Wednesday night, July 26th, and stay around for the spectacular sky show after the ball game. I say that's quite a show. So mark it down. It'll be Wednesday night, July 26th at Veterans Stadium. The end of 2, we have a 0-0 ball game. For more play-by-play in the third, here's Andy Musser.
Thank you, Harry, and here's Ted Sizemore to lead it off for the Phillies. Sizemore, Christenson, and McBride to bat in the Phillies' third inning. Sizemore hitting at .219. Teddy, right-handed batter, has been charged with an error in this ball game at second base as a ground ball eluded him. Two finals so far in the National League. The Dodgers won and the Braves won the first end of their doubleheader. Here's a liner down the left field line off the knuckleball, but it goes foul, strike one. Dodgers beat the Cubs this afternoon 4-3. Braves over the Mets 3-0 tonight. The first run of that ball game scored on a Dale Murphy homer, his 13th of the year with the bases empty. Size drops a bunt in front of the plate, but it hits him in fair ground, and he is out of there. Size runs into his bunt as he dropped it down the first base side, and he is out.
That's interference. He dropped it right in front of home plate and then ran over it. The put-out will be given to the catcher.
So that's one down on the Phillies' third, and here is Larry Christenson batting 111. Larry has 4 hits this year, one of them a home run. He has driven in 4. The Pirates have a 4-1 lead over San Diego. They've completed 3 innings tonight. Gaylord Perry against Bruce Keeson. Knuckleball is over for a strike call to Christensen. The Montreal-Cincinnati game is in the last of the third, with the Expos leading it 5-0. Here's another strike call to Christensen. Niekro gets ahead, 0-2. Ross Grimsley. Outside and low, good stop by the catcher, Pujols. Ellis Valentine and Tony Perez have hit Montreal home runs in that game being played at Riverfront Stadium. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Christensen. Swing and a miss. He is out. Second strikeout for Joe Niekro. 2 up and 2 down on the Phillies' third, and Bake McBride will bat. Bake doubled to start the ball game, then was picked off at second base, and there was a heavy collision between Bake and second baseman Art Howe, who took the pickoff throw from Niekro, and Bake was down for about 5 minutes, but he continued in the ball game. First pitch on the way to McBride. Outside and low, ball 1. Phillies have won 17 of their last 24 ball games, and they start play tonight with a 5-game lead as a result of the Dodger victory over Chicago this afternoon. Here's a called strike right at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike to McBride. Still raining at Boston, where Dave Goltz for the Twins and Louis Tion for the Red Sox will hook up if the weather permits. The 1-1 to McBride is a knuckleball in for a called strike. Texas and Baltimore is scoreless in the 7th inning. Steve Comer for the Rangers, Mike Flanagan for the Orioles. Here's the 1-2 pitch to McBride. Knuckleball just inside. 2-2 the count. Yankees lead Kansas City 2-1. They're in the last of the 4th inning. Marty Patton has relieved Paul Spitor for Kansas City. Catfish Hunter working that game for New York. Darrell Porter hit a Kansas City home run in the second with nobody on, his 8th of the year. The 2-2 to Bake McBride. Knuckleball tapped off the end of the bat towards short. Landstoy has it. Very high throw to first on a close play, and he is out, and McBride does not like the call. Phillies retired 1-2-3 in the third, and at the end of 2.5, this ball game remains scoreless.
A luxury car ought to give you your money's worth of luxury. It ought to be big enough for you to stretch out in and have a smooth and easy ride. Chrysler Cordova gives you all that and more. You not only get options like Corinthian leather, but 5 different roof styles, not to mention that great Chrysler engineering. With standard features like the lean burn engine that gives you better performance. Chrysler Cordova, the ultimate personal luxury car. See it at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer and get your money's worth.
A Cotton Transmission Center is really together. Here's how they do it. They start with a fully stocked parts department, which supplies the technicians who repair the transmissions. so your car runs quiet. Together.
Cotman Transmission's 1145 service includes replacing the fluid, cleaning the sump and screen, adjusting the bands and linkage, and installing a new pan gasket. All for $11.45. Even without our normal free towing service, it's the best deal in town.
Cotman fixes transmissions because they know how.
For the leaders in preventive maintenance, check your local yellow pages for the Cotman man near you.
We go to the Astros' third inning of a scoreless ball game, and the batter will be Joe Niekro, pitcher, who has 6 hits this year and is batting at .250. Niekro, Landestoy, and Puhl will bat against Larry Christenson, who has held the Astros to 2 hits, but they came back-to-back last inning. A double play bailing out the threat. Here's a breaking ball slammed into center field, but Maddox is right there, and Niekro is out on 1 pitch. He hit the ball hard, but right at Garry Maddox, that's 1 away. And that'll bring up Rafael Landestoy. He is from the Dodger farm system. The Dodgers called him up, put him on waivers, and the Astros were able to claim him because he went through. The Dodgers still owe the Astros 1 more player as a result of the Joe Ferguson deal. Landestoy, switch hitter, batting left-handed, chokes on the bat a little bit. Takes high, ball 1. 1-0 pitch to him is a fastball high and outside, 2-0 the count. Christenson being caught tonight by Barry Foote. Bob Boone not feeling well since yesterday, though he did catch the ball game in Atlanta. Here's one in for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 pitch to Landestoy, swing and a foul tip, caught, 2-2 the count. Rich, awfully close play on McBride to end the last half inning.
Well, I think Bake had a beat. Tony Taylor and Bake McBride both giving Harry Wendelstedt a lot of static. I believe Harry called the play too soon. I don't think he realized that McBride got away from home plate as quickly as he did. I think he had it a little more than tied.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Landestoy. He takes one just off the inside corner, and we've got a full count. Landestoy batting with 1 out, nobody on in the Astros' third inning. Swing and a miss. Christenson strikes him out. His second strikeout of the ball game.
A lot of Phillies fans here tonight. Mr. and Mrs. Earl Chandler from Mount Holly, New Jersey. We have the Bill Lewis family also here from Philadelphia.
Here's Terry Puhl, who tried to bunt his way on in the first inning, and Christenson threw him out. Curveball, low inside, ball 1. Puhl was leading the league in hitting for a while. He was up around the 330 mark. Right now, he is at an even 300. Left-handed batter. Here's one on the inside corner, a strike. Christenson's next delivery to Puhl is a breaking ball grounded toward first. Cardenal picks it up, drops it in foul ground, and safe at first base will be Terry Puhl. That will be an error on Jose Cardenal.
Now a routine play, and Jose got the ball right in that big mitt, but it popped out.
So the Astros get a runner with 2 down, and Enos Cabell will bat. He was safe on an error by Sizemore in the first inning. Scoreless ball game as the Astros bat in the third. Well, the Phillies' newest player arrived today, Orlando Gonzalez, left-handed batter, reported to the ball club tonight. Check swing by Cabell, and it's going to be a strike. He committed himself. Gonzalez is going to wear uniform number 17. He was batting .303 at Oklahoma City when he was called up.
The stretch by Christenson. There goes the runner. The ball is tapped off the plate in fair ground. Fielded by Foote. Makes the play to first in time for the out. Swinging bunt by Cabell. Foote pounced on it. And the inning is over. For the Astros in the third, no runs. No hits, one error, one left. At the end of 3, 0-0.
2 years ago, Plymouth introduced the most successful car in its history, Polaris. Today, we've got it in 3 styles that all give you your money's worth. The Slant 6 Coupe that gets better mileage than any 6-cylinder automatic built in America. The sedan that's roomiest in its class. And the wagon that's become the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. Coupe, sedan, or wagon. Polaris gives you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Gary, I feel like a salad. Let's go to Gino's.
Salad at Gino's?
Sure, you make it yourself.
This I gotta see. Yep, Gino's Salad Bar. All the crisp, fresh, delicious salad you can eat. Salad created by the world's greatest salad chef, you. Gino's Salad Bar has all sorts of greens, tomatoes, chickpeas, croutons, bacon bits, and 6 different dressings. So come to Gino's and feel good. Hey, I'm feeling good.
Phillies' 4th inning, and Larry Bowa will lead it off. This ball game is scoreless. Bowa lined out to center field in his first at bat. A rookie pitcher by the name of Larry McWilliams, a left-hander, won his first game tonight in his first start for Atlanta. Gene Garber came in the 8th inning to get that save as the Braves beat the Mets 3-0. Here's the pitch to Bowa, grounded on the right side, fielded by Art Howe, throw to first in time for the out. Bowa grounds out on the first pitch, 1 away in the 4th inning, and Garry Maddox will be the hitter. In the second game in Atlanta tonight, Tom Hausman will start for the Mets against Mickey Mailer for Atlanta. Greg Nettles has hit a 3-run homer for the Yankees in the 4th inning. New York leading Kansas City 5-1 at the end of 4. Maddox flied out to left field in his first at bat. Phillies no runs and 1 hit. The Astros no runs and 2 hits. There have been 3 errors committed in the ballgame. Here's Joe Niekro's first pitch to Maddox. Ground ball foul beyond Billy DeMars, the third base coach. Strike 1 on Maddox. And the 1-strike pitch to Garry. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. That was the knuckler by Niekro. And it seemed to rise on Garry. Pitchers in the Cincinnati series, Steve Carlton for the Phils on Wednesday, Paul Moskow for Cincinnati. And here is a called third strike on a knuckleball that just catches the outside corner. Garry Maddox was bailing away from the pitch, and it was called a strike on the outside corner. Pujols diving in the dirt to get it.
It's hard to believe. Garry can't believe it, and I can see why, because Pujols, the catcher, almost dived outside to catch that ball. I mean, he was a foot outside when he caught the ball. That's unbelievable.
Here's Greg Luzinski, officially his first at bat. He was on first base his first time up on catcher's interference. The pitch to the ball, knuckleball outside, ball 1. Greg Luzinski then stole second base, his 7th steal of the year.
Danny Ozark is really getting on Montague, the home plate umpire. Garry Maddox never says anything to an umpire, and he stood there a long time after that called third strike.
Greg swings and misses at a knuckleball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bull batting .236, still leading the league in homers with 21. Next pitch to him is high, 2-1 the count. Last time Niekro pitched against the Phillies, he didn't get anybody out. McBride, Boa, Schmidt, and Jay Johnstone all had hits from him, driving him from the ball game. Here is a very high fly ball into left center field. The center fielder Puhl getting over. He takes it for the out, and the Phils go down 1-2-3. At the end of 3.5, 0-0. Now time for a tasty break.
Some things in life you can always count on, like the way Tug McGraw gets the Phillies out of a jam with his trusty Scroogey, the way Bake McBride revs up a rally with his screaming line drive, and the way Tasty Cake keeps on baking delicious tasting cake like family packs of chocolate, peanut butter, and mint candy cakes. Try them. They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
They're waiting for you now at the sign of the cat. The 1978 Mercury Monarch 2- and 4-door sedans. Cars in tune with today. Mercury Monarch. A touch of class in a precision-sized car with room for 5. Designed for American drivers on American roads. Monarch boasts such standard features as a 4.1-liter 6 engine, 4-speed manual overdrive transmission, front discs, and a whole lot more to help make Monarch the value car it is. If Monarch sounds like your kind of car, now's the time to see your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Great in any year. MAB paints. When you paint, get the paint that lasts longer. MAB. It gives you more years per gallon. And great in 78 is what people will be saying about the Phillies. MAB has Phillies Great in 78 bumper stickers. And you could win 2 tickets to a Phillies game if one of the MAB spotters sees the Phillies bumper sticker on your car. To get your free Phillies bumper sticker, visit the nearest MAB paint store, dealer, or Rich Lux Home Center in your neighborhood.
The Astros' 4th inning, and Jose Cruz at the plate takes a curveball low, ball 1. Cruz grounded to second base in his first at bat. Cruz, Watson, and Howe to face Larry Christenson. Larry misses low, ball 2. George Foster has hit his 20th home run for the Reds tonight. Reds now trail Montreal 6-2, the game in the last of the 4th. Sharply hit ground ball foul outside of third base. Hit the facing in front of the Phillies dugout. Two balls and a strike on Cruz. He takes a fastball high and inside, 3-1. The Astros have had base runners in every inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Boa has it. His throw across is perfect, and Cruz is retired. That's 1 out in the 4th inning, and the batter will be Bob Watson. Watson a strikeout this time. 1 of 2 for Christensen tonight. Bob leads the Astros in home runs with 9. And RBIs with 55. Here's the pitch to the right-handed batter, fouled off, a strike. Cesar Cedeno almost certainly out for the year. As Bill Burton said on the pregame show tonight, there is a chance he could come back in September, but it's unlikely. He was batting .281 at the time of his injury. Watson takes high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cedeno had 6 homers and 21 runs batted in. Remember last year he got off to a terrible start, then came off and had a great second half of the season. Curveball misses by Christensen, 2-1 the count. Larry won his last start, beating Montreal 6-3, July 8th. That was the game where Bake McBride hit a pinch hit grand slam home run. Watson takes low, ball 3, 3-1 the count. And here's the pitch to him. Swinging a ground ball to Sizemore at second base. He has it. Throw to first is in time, and there are 2 outs. Watson grounds out to Sizemore for the 2nd out of the inning. Base is empty, and Art Howe will bat. Howe singled in his first at bat. Bergman followed with another hit, and the Astros had a threat in the 2nd inning of this ball game with runners at first and third and only 1 down. But the rookie catcher Pujols grounded into a double play to end the inning. Here's Howe, who's batted safely in 8 straight. Breaking ball slammed toward third, but just foul. Phil Garner has homered for Pittsburgh tonight in the fourth with nobody on, his third of the year. And the Pirates lead San Diego 6-1. Game now in the fifth inning. One strike on second baseman Art Howe. He's among the leaders in the National League in doubles with 24. Larry misses inside, 1-1 the count. Here's a foul ball that goes right into the Houston dugout and chases a couple of them down there in a hurry. It was going the opposite way. The Astro dugout off the first base side, and they really bailed on that one. They've got glass roofs on the top of these dugouts. I suppose it's some kind of plastic, but you can see into the dugouts from above them here. Here's the 1-2 pitch to the plate, breaking ball, check swing, and it's called a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Howe. Ball top foul toward the Phillies dugout and right on in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Howe. Christenson has had no decisions in only 2 of his starts this year, and one of them came against Houston May 18th. Phillies won that ball game 8-5 on the home run by Jerry Martin. Fastball inside and a full count to Howe. Last year, Christenson beat the Astros 3 times, losing to them only once. He is 7-4 lifetime against Houston. 3-2 pitch, low inside, ball 4. The first batter walked by Christenson tonight. So Howe is on for the second time. The Astros have a runner with 2 outs. This ball game scoreless. We're in the last of the fourth inning, and Dave Bergman, left-handed batter, is coming up. Pitch on the way to Bergman is a curveball over for a strike. He's from Evanston, Illinois, a 25-year-old rookie who is basically a first baseman. Twice he was player of the year in the minor leagues. Christenson with a changeup is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Astros acquired Bergman from the Yankees as partial payment in the Cliff Johnson deal. Johnson did a great job for the Yankees last year. He hasn't done much for them this season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Low, a ball, 2-1. Bergman singled to center his first time up. Here's the set by Christenson, and the pitch, it's foul to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dave Bergman. The Astros, who have 3 consecutive doubleheaders coming up against the Mets Wednesday and Thursday nights in New York and against the Phillies Friday night at Veterans Stadium, are going to go to an 11-man pitching staff through that crisis. They'll be in Veterans Stadium for 4 games this weekend, and they're liable to be a tired ball club when they show up. Breaking ball, skips by Barry Foote. On his way to second base is Art Howe. Takes a big turn there and decides to hang on. A wild pitch charged to Larry Christenson. Howe at second with 2 down, and we've got a full count on Dave Bergman. The pitcher called up by the Astros to be their 11th man is Vern Rule, who had a tryout at one time with the Detroit Tigers. He's going to be pitching one of those games against the Mets. Here's a pop-up. It may be playable. Foul behind the plate. Foot coming back. He's at the screen. He can't get it. It's in the crowd. Full count to Bergman, 3-2. 2 out. Howe at second base. There's no score in this ball game. After the Astros get through that 3 doubleheader and 3-day crisis, they're probably going to drop one of their pitchers and recall infielder Julio Gonzalez, who was recently optioned out to Charleston. Christenson peering in for his sign from Foote. Stretch in the pitch. Breaking ball is low, ball 4, and Bergman draws a walk. So after not walking anybody in the first 3 innings, Christenson walks 2 with 2 down here in the 4th. And Luis Pujols will bat. He grounded into a double play in his first at bat. Right-handed batting catcher stands back and asks for time. Christenson ready to work, and here's the pitch to Pujols. It's over for a strike called. Tonight, the Astros made another roster change. They have optioned rookie catcher Reggie Baldwin out, and they're going to bring up yet another young player. Outside and low, snap throw to first. Oh, he's back in time as Bergman, but he would have been out had Foote made a lower throw.
That's right. They had him picked off. Cardenal sneaking in behind Bergman, but the throw was high, and Cardenal delayed in making the tag.
1-1, the count on Pujols. Here's the pitch to him. Swinging a ball, 1 hop to the mound. Good leaping grab by Christenson. Flipped to first base in time for the out. For the Astros in the 4th, no runs, no hits, and 2 left. At the end of 4, 0-0.
2 years ago, Plymouth introduced the most successful car in its history, Polaris. Today, we've got it in 3 styles that all give you your money's worth. The Slant 6 Coupe, and it gets better mileage than any 6-cylinder automatic built in America. The sedan that's roomiest in its class. And the wagon that's become the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. Coupe, sedan, or wagon. Polaris gives you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Sunshine all day. Don't want too fast, you can come in and relax. The sun's gonna shine all day. Hey, the sun's gonna shine all day.
It's summertime, and that means it's Cokin' time. Cokin' pizza, Cokin' tacos, Cokin' chips, Cokin' fries, Cokin' cheeseburgers and bacon burgers and barbecue burgers and Swiss burgers and burgers. Cokin' softball and volleyball and racquetball and stickball. Cokin' bikes and boards and bands. Cokin' sun and surf and sand. Cokin' rock and roll music and Coke and me. I think that's what it means. Coke adds life to summer fun. Cokin', how about Cokin' you? And ice cold and right now.
Cola, take it cola. Coke is life, and everybody wants a little. Coke is life. Coca-Cola is life.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Phillies Baseball Network.
Here at 9:34 in the evening, this is News Radio in the Delaware Valley, KYW 1060, Philadelphia. We have clear skies and it's 76 degrees on Independence Mall.
5th inning baseball, Mr. 5th inning, Rich Ashburn.
Okay, Andy, thank you. Richie Hebner will lead it off. Richie flied out to center field his first time up. It'll be Hebner, Cardenal, and Foote. The first 3 batters here in the 5th inning. No score in the ball game. Joe Niekro with the first pitch. Hebner takes a called strike. Hebner batting at 274. Niekro right back. Knuckleball bounces up there. Ball 1, strike 1 to Hebner. Phillies only have 1 hit in the ball game, a leadoff double by Bake McBride to start the game. Houston only has 2 hits, both singles. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Hebner. Ground ball towards first. Watson has it on 2 hops. Flips to Niekro covering the bag, and Hebner is out. 1 down. Phillies have really only hit a couple of balls hard. McBride's double. Larry Bowa hit a line drive to center field. Here's Cardenal, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Jose is batting at 309. Been some loose fielding in this game. The Phillies with 2 errors, and Houston has 1. Right-hander Joe Niekro with the first pitch to Cardenal. Jose, fly ball. Shallow right center. Cruz coming over. Puhl coming over, and Cruz cuts in front of Terry Puhl and makes the catch. Like for a moment they were going to run into each other. 2 down, and the batter Barry Foote. We have the Pasayoko family here from Philadelphia tonight watching the ball game. Barry Foote grounded out his first time up. Houston playing Foote as a pull hitter, and they play him pretty deep. And Niekro with the first pitch, a fastball in there for a called strike. One strike pitch, grounded foul. 2 strikes on Foote. Mike and Susan Kramer from Philadelphia here tonight, along with Elaine and Wendy Alvin, down here vacationing and watching the ball game. They picked quite a place to vacation. The weather here has been extremely hot. Two strikes on Foote, 2 outs, nobody on, no score, top of the 5th. Foote fouls a pitch back to the screen. Houston had a scoring threat in the 2nd inning. Runners at 1st and 3rd, 1 down, but Christenson got out of that inning with a double play. Two-strike pitch is high. Niekro misses with a knuckleball. Joe Niekro getting his sign, winds the pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Pujols, back to the screen, and Foote will be safe at first base. It'll be a strikeout and a pass ball on the catcher. So Foote's on first base, 2 outs. Oh, that was a knuckleball that really took a dive. Foote missed it a foot. And Pujols, the catcher, couldn't hang on to it. Sizemore, the batter, Foote on first, 2 outs. Sizemore struck out his first time up. Ted's 0 for 1, batting .217. Niekro out of the stretch. Pitch to Sizemore, way outside. Good stop by Pujols, the catcher. Ball 1 to Sizemore. Sizemore loops one right field, dropping quickly, a base hit. Foote will have to stop at second base as Cruz plays the ball in quickly. So the Phillies with a little threat here with 2 outs. Runners at 1st and 2nd, and the batter pitcher Larry Christenson, who struck out his first time up. Foote at 2nd, Sizemore at 1st, 2 down. No score in the ball game, top of the 5th inning. Houston playing respectably against Christenson. Knuckleball is outside, ball 1 to Christenson. Well, Larry will be looking for a fastball to hit. Might get it here. Niekro out of the stretch, throws to second base, and Foote is out. Oh, boy. I don't believe it. The second base runner picks off second tonight. And that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. 1 left on. Houston batting in the 5th, no score.
Time was, station wagons only came in one size, big. And if you wanted good mileage, you were out of luck. Well, RA gives you your money's worth of room and mileage of 25 on the highway, 18 in the city. That's an EPA estimate for a wagon with 225, 1-barrel engine, and manual transmission. Your mileage may differ. And also has the high resale value you're looking for. No wonder Valari's been the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. It gives you your money's worth when you buy and when you sell. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
greeting card and gift shops have gifts galore for every member of the family, boy or girl, mom or dad, grandparents, an uncle or an aunt, and all gifts wrapped free at Warren's, where shopping is a pleasure. Warren's has a complete line of Hallmark cards, Hummel figurines, Monet costume jewelry, a wide assortment of copper, brass, and fine wood products. We have a trinket or a treasure for anyone at the wonderful world of Warren's. Visit our Warren's card and gift shop in the Manoa Shopping Center.
Pitcher Joe Niekro leading off for Houston here in the bottom of the fifth. Houston has come up with quite a pickoff play at second base. They picked Bake McBride off and Barry Foote, both picked off easily. Here's a base hit into left field. Luzinski comes up with the ball on a couple of hops, and Joe Niekro leads off with a single for the Astros here in the bottom of the fifth. The third hit off Larry Christenson. Landestoy, the leadoff hitter up there, he has flied out and struck out. Jose Cardenal wants to talk to Christensen. No score here in the bottom of the fifth. Niekro's on first, nobody out. Christensen ready to go, checks the runner, pitch in the way, low, ball one. Landestoy had squared around a bunt. Landestoy, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Larry Christensen. Next pitch, bunted. Good one. Christensen grabs it. Will have to go to first. Sizemore covering. They get Landestoy on the sacrifice bunt. So Niekro's on second, one down, and the batter, center fielder Terry Puhl. Puhl is grounded out and got on base on an error. Puhl officially 0 for 2, batting .299. Christensen in a little fifth inning trouble. No score here in the ball game. Niekro leads off second. Pitch to Puhl is inside, ball one. Ready with the next delivery. Puhl, base hit, up through the middle. Niekro rounding third. He's going to score. And Houston leads in the ball game 1-0. Give Puhl a single, a run batted in. And the Astros lead it 1-0. Third baseman Enos Cabell, the batter, 0 for 2 in the game. Hitting at .291. Puhl's on first, one down. Infield hoping for a double play ball. Puhl with a fair lead off first, and Christensen goes to first, too late. Puhl has stolen 14 bases. He's a threat to run. Christensen ready. There goes Puhl. Cabell slow bounded towards third. Hebner grabs it, fires to first, and Cabell is out. Puhl going on down to second base. Puhl on second, 2 outs. And the batter, right fielder Jose Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Houston leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Puhl on second, 2 outs. Christensen ready. The pitch. Fly ball, shallow right field. Easy play for Bake McBride. He makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But Houston with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left on at the end of 5 full innings. It's the Astros 1, the Phillies nothing, and now it's time for a tasty break.
Fresh baked spice cake cupcakes filled with real apple jelly, topped with a luscious layer of buttery crumbs. They're sure to take the edge off any appetite, morning, noon, or night. And now here's the answer to our baffler. Rod Carew won the American League batting title not 3, but 4 times in a row. In 1972, 3, 4, and 5. In 1976, he lost it, but came back again to win it with flying colors last year with a .388 average. Baseball and tasty cake. They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
And now from the KYW newsroom here at 9:46 in the evening, City Managing Director Hilla Levinson says the city will decide tomorrow if contempt citations will be sought against those members of ASME who are in apparent defiance of a back-to-work court order issued by Judge Edward Bradley yesterday. Mayor Rizzo will hold a news conference tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. We'll have live coverage of it for you right here on KYW News Radio. It's partly cloudy now and 76 degrees on Independence Mall. Now let's get back to Houston and the ball game.
Well, next Sunday, July 23rd, is Poncho Day at the ballpark. All kids 14 and under will receive a free Phillies poncho when they enter the park. A Phillies poncho, a tremendous inclement weather item, and is brand new this year from the Phillies. That's Poncho Day, Sunday, July 23rd, when the Phillies play the Houston Astros at Veterans Stadium starting at 1:35. That poncho will really help you next winter in that 20-inch snow. Here's Larry Christenson leading off for the Phillies. Larry struck out his first time up. He was the batter when Foote was picked off second. Christenson takes outside, ball 1. Christenson, McBride, and Bowa, the first 3 batters here in the top of the 6th inning. Niekro winds. Here's the pitch. Christensen swings and misses. 1-1 the count. Phillies only have 2 hits. One by McBride, one by Sizemore. Here's a pitch outside. Ball 2 and a strike to Christensen. Well, they're back in the Astrodome. They have trouble scoring runs here. Christensen, check swing, foul ball. 2-2 the count. Milford and Oleta Brenton are here from the Wilmington area. Phillies fans. 2-2 the count to Larry Christensen. Niekro's pitch. Ground ball hit slowly towards third. Cabell has it. Fires low to first, and Watson hangs on. Christensen is out. A good play there by Bob Watson. Cabell really cut loose a throw, but bounced it over there. Christensen is out. 1 down. The batter, Bake McBride. McBride 1 for 2 with a double. Bake hitting .269. Phillies haven't had a runner reach third. They've had 3 of them reach second, 2 of those picked off. Joe Niekro ready with the first pitch to Bake McBride. Swing and a miss. Foul tip caught by Pujols, the catcher. Strike 1 on McBride. And the next delivery, knuckleball is inside. 1-1 the count. Mr. and Mrs. Harold Trulier from Philadelphia here tonight. 1-1 pitch. Inside. 2-1 the count. We have the Harry Kellis fan club here with a big sign out there. Welcome, Harry Kellis. Mike Schmidt has a sign hanging up. Here's a ground ball, a 1-hopper to Watson. He grabs it, steps on the bag, and McBride is out. 2 quick outs here in the 6th inning. And the batter will be shortstop Larry Bowa. Larry's 0 for 2, lined out and grounded out. Larry hitting at 291. Bowa has been in a slump. Did get a couple of base hits in yesterday's game against the Atlanta Braves. 2 outs and nobody on. Niekro's pitch. Pop-up. Shallow center field. Puhl coming on, makes the catch. Phillies down in order. Houston coming to the bat. Bottom of the 6th inning. They lead 1-0.
Chrysler LeBaron's a good combination. It's a car sized for today's living, yet loaded with luxury. It gives you your money's worth of sensibly sized style. In your choice of 3 models, a young stylish 2-door, a classic 4-door, and the new LeBaron Town & Country wagon. The difference between this wagon and any other is luxury. Why drive a car that doesn't feel great? Why not get your money's worth of style and luxury? When LeBaron gives you all this, why settle for anything less? See it at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today. When you paint this year, select the paint that lasts longer. MAB Seashore House Paint. It gives you more years per gallon. In fact, it's the best paint you can buy. That's because MAB Seashore House Paint was especially designed for the harsh, rugged weather conditions on the shore, like wind, rain, sun, and especially salt air. So when it comes to painting your home, inside or out, think of MAB in the more than 300 MAB paint stores, dealers, and Rich Lux Home Centers. Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge accepted.
When you serve Lancaster brand meats, you'll find there's more to like than just the price. Like Lancaster brand boneless bottom round roast. Its consistent quality assures you it will be tender, juicy, and flavorful slice after slice. And that's true whether you choose a Lancaster brand boneless bottom round roast or any of our other fine cuts of meat. Remember, Lancaster brand is sold only at Acme Super Saver Markets.
At Acme Super Saver, serving you is our policy and my pleasure.
Bob Watson will lead off for the Astros. Bottom of the 6th inning. Houston leading 1-0. Watson is 0 for 2. Has struck out and grounded out. He's hitting at 289. Christenson's pitch. Outside, ball 1. It'll be Watson, Howe, and Bergman. And the next pitch. Here's a pop-up, playable. Cardenal at first, just in fair territory, makes the catch. Well, Harry Wendell said he was in foul territory. Nice call, Harry. One down. Art Howe, the batter. He's singled and walked. Fellow's having a good year for Houston. Houston got him from the Pirates organization. He's hitting 287. It's a ground ball, fair ball, just inside the third base bag. Extra bases. Luzinski firing the ball in, and Howe's into second with a stand-up double. Art Howe's 26th double. He's on second, one down. And the batter, left fielder Dave Bergman. Bergman's been on twice with a single and a walk. Danny Ozark is coming out. Just to talk over the possibility, I guess, of walking Bergman. Bergman's hitting a lusty 164. Seems to me as those are the kind of guys you want up there in this situation. They're going to walk him, though. I guess it's a hard 164. Bergman getting the intentional walk. They'll pitch to the catcher, Luis Pujols. And there's ball 4 to Bergman. He gets the intentional walk. Phillies have handled Pujols. He's hit into one double play. He's grounded out to Christenson. He's 0 for 2, batting 152. That's probably why they want Bergman. He's hitting 15 points higher than Pujols. 2 on, 1 out. Infield hoping for the double play ball. Christenson out of the stretch. Fly ball, right field, playable. Bake McBride drifting back. Under the ball, makes the catch. Art Howe tags at second. He'll go on to third. Pujols is out of there. 2 down. Runners at first and third, and the batter pitcher Joe Niekro, who's 1 for 2 with a single, and he scored the only run of the ball game. He's not a bad hitter for a pitcher. He's hitting .231. Howe's at third, Bergman at first, 2 down. Houston leading 1-0. Raleigh Eastwick starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Christenson out of the stretch, checks the runners. Pitch to Niekro. Foul ball past third. Strike 1 on Joe Niekro. Christenson trying to get out of a little 2-out trouble here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Strike 1 the count. Christenson ready again. Niekro, ground ball, deep short. Bowa has it. Fires to first, and Niekro's out by an eyelash. Good play by Larry Bowa. That'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. At the end of 6 full innings, it's Houston 1, the Phillies nothing.
Got the taste and the feeling you like. Coca-Cola, come on in. Pour yourself some Coke Ice Cold. Like I told ya, walking, talking, dancing till dawn. Turning it off and turning it on. Coke at light, Coca-Cola at night.
I just saved myself a trip to the bank and a trip to the post office. I've got this new thing going with George Bank by phone from Girard Bank. Just paid a month's worth of bills, did a whole pile of banking. I even gave myself a loan. Oh, sure. A few other banks have pay by phone, but Girard lets me pay and bank by phone. You know, it's almost like having a Girard Bank right here in my kitchen.
Ask for a demonstration of George Bank by phone at any Girard Bank office.
Well, one of the best ways for you and your friends to have a night out in the town you'll never forget is to attend a Phillies game in a group outing. Pick a date. Call Phillies Group Sales Experts at 803-5000, and they'll do the rest for you. A group outing at the ballpark, fun for everyone. So make that phone call, 803-5000. Come down to the ballpark for all the excitement of Phillies baseball. We go to the 7th inning. The Phils trailing 1-0. And we go to that exciting Andy Musser.
Thank you, Rich. Really putting the heat on me. The Phils have had only 2 hits in this ball game off Joe Niekro. Bake McBride, who doubled, and he was picked off, and Ted Sizemore, who singled with 2 down in the 5th inning. Here's Garry Maddox to start it. Garry is flying out to left and struck out. Houston ahead, 1-0. Joe Niekro into his windup, and the pitch on the way to Maddox. Knuckleball, swing, and foul at the plate, a strike. The Mets have taken a 1-0 lead in the second game of their doubleheader at Atlanta tonight. Tom Hausman pitching against Mickey Mailer. The 1 strike to Maddox is outside. Atlanta won the first game 3-0 behind rookie Larry McMillions. Pittsburgh 6-3 over San Diego. There in the sixth inning. Gaylord Perry against Bruce Keeson. Phil Garner has homered for the Pirates. The 1-1 to Maddox, outside and low. Montreal 6, Cincinnati 2, last half of the fifth inning. Ross Grimsley against Pedro Borbon in relief of Fred Norman. The 2-1 to Maddox. Fastball misses outside. 3-1 the count. San Francisco 6, St. Louis 2 at the end of 5 innings. Bob Nepper pitching against John Denny, who started that game for St. Louis. Relieved by Aurelia Lopez in the third inning. The 3-1 pitch on the way to Gary. Foul back to the screen, a full count. Terry Whitfield homered for San Francisco tonight. And Kenny Reitz and George Hendrick have both homered for St. Louis. In the American League, the Texas-Baltimore game has gone to extra innings, scoreless. Steve Comer against Mike Flanagan. They're both pitching. Maddox takes outside, ball 4. And let's pause for station identification, the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:01, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says it'll be clearing tonight with some fog forming in the suburbs. The low 64. Tomorrow sunny and warmer, the high 84. 76 degrees and partly cloudy at Independence Mall.
Here's Greg Luzinski. That's the first walk given up by Joe Niekro. Greg officially 0 for 1. He has had only 1 hit in his last 18 trips to the plate. Throw to first base. Maddox gets back in time. Bull was on base tonight in his first at-bat on catcher's interference. He had a green light on a 3-0, and Pujols interfered with him. Pitch to the ball, outside and low, ball 1. Yankees 5-3 over Kansas City at the end of 6 innings. Sparky Lyle in relief of Catfish Hunter. Marty Patton in relief of Paul Splittorff. Another throw to first base. Maddox is back. Niekro has picked off 2 tonight, but both at second base. Darrell Porter homered for Kansas City. Greg Nettles hit 1 for New York. That was number 17 for Nettles. There goes Maddox on a bluff, but he holds up and a called strike at the plate. Maddox took off for second, then pulled up abruptly. 1 ball, 1 strike on Luzinski. White Sox 1, Milwaukee 0 through 5. Francisco Barrios pitching against Mike Caldwell. The pitchers have been posted at Oakland tonight. For Toronto, Jerry Garvin, he's 2-9 this year. Johnson for Oakland, he is 6-5. Pitch out, but Maddox was not going. 2-1 the count.
That's risky to pitch out. It puts Niekro behind Luzinski now 2-1. He almost has to throw something over here. He doesn't want to go 3-1 on the count. Houston gambled on that pitch out, and they lost.
Here's the set by Niekro. Throw to first base. Maddox is back. The Astros lead this ball game 1-0, and it was a hit by Niekro that led to that run. He got a single to start the inning. He was sacrificed to second, and Terry Puhl drove him in. He stepped off, then threw to first base, and he almost got Maddox. Tricky move by Niekro. He stepped off and then fired to first base.
And Maddox was going. That's why he almost got picked off. When Niekro stepped off the rubber, Maddox took a step toward second.
Here's another throw over that way, and again Gary gets back. A count of 2 balls and 1 strike on Luzinski. There are no outs in the Phillies' 7th inning, and they trail it by a run in a ballpark where it's always tough for them to get runs.
Maddox may have hurt an ankle down there. He's testing it out.
Gary appears to be all right, and we're ready to go. Got a pretty good lead. And the pitch to the ball, line drive, left field, a base hit. Maddox will stop at second base. Greg Luzinski with a sharply hit line drive into left field. And the Phillies with runners at first and second and nobody out.
And a dead pull hitter up there, and Richie Hebner, he should be able to move these runners. I don't think he'll be bunting. I think Danny Ozark will let him swing away, because Hebner has been one of the few hot hitters of late.
Richie with a 5-game hitting streak, during which he has batted at a .471 clip. Tonight he is 0 for 2, has flied to center, and grounded to first. Phillies with runners at first and second and nobody out. Left-hander Joe Sambito is getting up in the Astro bullpen. Here's Hebner batting at .270. The set by Niekro and the pitch on the way to Hebner. Knuckleball outside. Pujols really diving around after that knuckler tonight. Niekro must have a very good one. Hebner has had doubles in 3 straight ball games. Kenny Forsch is also up in the Astro bullpen. Breaking ball is grounded foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hebner. Jose Cardenal on deck. Nobody out in the inning. Maddox walked. Luzinski single. Runners at first and second. From the first to the fifth, the Phillies didn't have any hits off Niekro tonight. Niekro has his sign from Pujols. Wheels around, goes to second. Maddox is back in time. That time, Niekro did not make a particularly good throw. It was well off to the first base side of second. He has picked off 2 out there at second base tonight. One ball and 1 strike on Hebner. Here's the pitch to him, a knuckler high, 2-1 the count. Niekro working considerably slower now that he's a jam here in the Phillies' 7th inning. Niekro with the sign. Here's the 2-1 to Hebner. Very high pop-up. It's in foul ground, but there is a play. Bob Watson out behind first base grabs it for the out. So Hebner did not advance the runners as he fouls out to Bob Watson, and that's the first out of the inning. Well, here's another hot batter, Jose Cardenal. Jose leads the Phillies in average with a .312 mark at game time. Tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Pete Rose has singled in the 5th inning of that ball game tonight, so he has hit now safely in 30 consecutive games. That is a Cincinnati club record. And the Reds have tied that ball game. It is now 6-all last half of the 6th inning. Reds and Montreal. Here's Cardenal. Runners at first and second and 1 down. Stretched by Niekro in the pitch. Knuckleball. Fly ball right field. Cruz headed toward the line and back. He gets there. Makes the running catch. Maddox tagging at second will go to third. Holding on at first base is Luzinski. Cardenal skies out to right field for the second out of the inning. And the Phils have runners at first and third. It's up to Barry Foote. Barry is 0 for 2. Grounded out and struck out. When he struck out, he did get on base on a pass ball by Pujols. Then he was advanced to second base on Sizemore's single and picked off second. Tug McGraw up and throwing in the Phillies bullpen. Conference at the mound for the Astros. Foote uses the time to go back and put a little pine tar on his bat. Conference at the mound between first baseman Bob Watson, catcher Pujols, and the pitcher. George Foster has hit his second home run of the ball game for Cincinnati, and that ties him with Greg Luzinski for the league lead. 21 each for Foster and Luzinski. That ball game is tied. That is not additional scoring by Cincy. That is part of their 6 runs. Here's the pitch to Foote. Very high fly ball into center field. There's going to be an easy play for Terry Puhl, who moves over to left center and takes it for the out. So the Phillies are retired in the 7th despite getting the first 2 men on. No runs, 1 hit, And 2 men left at the end of 6.5. Houston leads 1-0.
Receive a $50 replacement allowance direct from General Electric when you replace your old washer with a GE large capacity washer, model WWA 8450V or WWA 8500V. Buy a GE no-frost refrigerator, model TV FM 18VW, and get a built-in automatic ice maker at no extra charge. Offer good now through August 31st.
Available at Nate Benz Reliable, 2116 Market Street in Philadelphia.
I'm Katie Donlin, and I'm a flight attendant. Most of the time, I'm up in the air or waiting around an airport. You can see why I need a bank like Girard. With their new George Bank by Phone, I can pay my bills right from the gate. And George Bank by Phone lets me check my balance, transfer funds, or even give myself a loan. I guess Girard and I believe in the same thing. Good service.
Night and day, George lets Katie be the banker at Girard Bank. We're there when you need us.
Penn Jersey is giving away free rides in the Goodyear Blimp, and you can win one. July 26th, weather permitting, is Goodyear Blimp Day at Penn Jersey Auto Stores. Get your entry blank at any participating Penn Jersey or in our newspaper ad. Enter by 6 p.m. July 22nd. No purchase necessary. Lucky Penn Jersey winners will be notified by phone. Penn Jersey Auto Stores, where you can ride on Goodyear products and win a ride in the Goodyear Blimp.
These Astros, who always give the Phillies a battle here in the Dome, will be in Philadelphia this coming weekend. Starting Friday night, it's a make-up twilight doubleheader with Houston beginning at 5:35, so mark that one down. There will be an extra game for you for the price of one on Friday. Next Saturday night, the Phillies and Astros will square off at 7:35. And on Sunday afternoon, the Phillies and Houston will meet at 1:35, and that'll be Poncho Day. Free Phillies ponchos to all kids 14 or under when they enter the ballpark. Following that series with Houston, the Atlanta Braves will be in town July 24th, 25th, and 26th. All games beginning at 7:35, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. And Wednesday following the ball game, make a special note, there's going to be a sky show that night. And then July 31st, August 1st and 2nd, the New York Mets in town. 7:35 ball game on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday night's going to be hot dog night, by the way. And then Wednesday's game will start at 12:35 in the afternoon, a business person special, first of the year. The Phil's homestand begins on Wednesday night with the Cincinnati Reds. They'll be in for games Wednesday and Thursday nights this week. We have the pitching for that Cincinnati series. Steve Carlton will face Paul Moskow in the game on Wednesday night. And Thursday night, Jim Cott will be going for the Phillies against a young right-hander just called up by the Reds, Mike Lacoste. He'll be starting his first Major League game on Thursday night at Veterans Stadium. Well, here come the Astros. Last half of the 7th inning, they hold a 1-0 lead. They are at the top of their batting attack. Switch hitting Rafael Landestoy coming up. Batting left-handed against Christenson. Both starting pitchers still in the ball game. Fastball is inside, ball 1. Landestoy 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. 1-0 pitch to him is popped foul. It's out of play beyond third base and over top the Phillies dugout. The Astros have really had their trouble since the first of this month. After July 1st, the Astros have won only 4, and they have lost 10. Inside and high, a ball, 2-1 the count. Landestoy batting .385 as a left-handed batter. Here's a hard-hit ground ball, but right to Sizemore. It makes the play to first, 1 out. Landestoy grounds out to Sizemore, and that'll bring up Terry Puhl. Well, he has driven in the only run in this ball game. Puhl's 19th run batted in, coming in the 5th inning, following a single by pitcher Joe Niekro and a sacrifice by Landestoy. Pitch to the left-handed batter. He bluffs the bunt, but takes high and outside, a ball. Puhl is batting .301. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He was leading the league in hitting for a time. His average had climbed to about .330. Runs up the bunt, but misses a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Christenson's next pitch on the way. Pop-up, maybe a play. It's been foul ground back at third. Hebner is over. He's out of room. It's in the crowd. A 1-2 count on Terry Puhl, good-looking left-handed batter. The Astros made Puhl their center fielder following the injury to Cedeno. He had been playing in left, but Puhl played in center during his minor league days. The 1-2 pitch to him, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Puhl goes down swinging, strikeout number 3 for Christenson. That's 2 out in the 7th inning with nobody on base. Here's Enos Cabell. He's 0 for 3, reached base on a Sizemore error in the first inning. A fastball is high and inside, ball 1. Cabell swings and fouls one back. Texas finally won that game over Baltimore 2-0. Extra inning decision to Texas. Here is a fly ball to right field. Bake McBride over a few steps, waiting, and he takes it for out number 3. The Astros have been retired in order for the first time in this ball game. At the end of 7, Houston leads 1-0. Now time for a tasty break.
When it comes to the Phillies, everyone has their favorite player. And when it comes to tasty cake, everybody has their favorite. Like light and delicious cream-filled vanilla crimpies or cream-filled chocolate crimpies. Tempting, fresh-baked cake that comes individually wrapped or by the family pack full. Tasty cake crimpies. They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty cake is a world of fun. All the things wrapped up in one.
Station wagon fanciers buy wagons for a lot of reasons. One reason, to take them where the fun is. That's what the roomy 4-door Mercury Zephyr wagon is all about. To take you where the fun is, in style and comfort. Mercury Zephyr wagon. It features precise rack and pinion steering, 2.3-liter engine, advanced wide-mount front strut suspension, and 79.5 cubic feet of cargo space behind the second seat. Mercury Zephyr wagon. It's ready to take you where the fun is anytime. Check one out at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
It's the 8th inning. Here's Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Andy. And fans, it's time for another Daily News home run payoff. A game that's so easy to play, even a little youngster can win. It happened the other night when 4-year-old Robert Gant Jr. won $1,000 on a Garry Maddox homer, which raised the home run payoff grand total to nearly $135,000. You can win up to $5,000 every day the Phillies play. And this season, every hit pays off. To enter, use the home run payoff entry coupon in the Daily News, where you can also win big bucks every day in the $100,000 Lucky Bucks game. See the Daily News for details. Leading off in our Daily News home run payoff inning, Ted Sizemore. Sizemore was out his first time up when he ran into his fun and fair territory. And Ted is also singled for one of the 3 hits off Joe Niekro tonight. Niekro shutting out the Phils on 3 hits, a double by McBride, singles by Ted Sizemore and Greg Luzinski. Ted's batting for Floss Murray of East Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. Tim McCarver has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Larry Christenson. Here's the pitch to Sizemore. Ground ball up the middle. Landestoy can't get it, a base hit. So Sizemore leads off the Phillies' 8th with a base hit. Floss Murray of East Lansdowne. You'll get $20 and 4 reserve seat tickets to a future Phillies game. That'll bring on Tim McCarver, and Timmy will be batting for June Sandin of Philadelphia. We have a pinch runner for Sizemore at first base. Bud Harrelson coming out to pinch run.
Bud Harrelson pinch running at first base.
So McCarver batting for Larry Christenson, and in our Daily News home run payoff, batting for June Sandin of Philadelphia. Sizemore's hit is second, the Phillies' 4th off Niekro. Phil's trail here, 1-0. 8th inning. In the Astrodome, where Phillies find run production very, very difficult. Joe Joe Niekro looks in for the sign. Bud Harrelson, not a big lead at first. Here's the pitch to McCarver. Swinging a pop foul back behind the screen and out of play and just below it. One strike to count to Tim McCarver. Tim is hitting .253, 6 extra base hits. They've all been doubles. He's knocked in 5 runs. As a pinch hitter, McCarver hitting .191, 4 for 21 with 1 run batted in. In 11 innings, Texas has defeated Baltimore 2-0. Reggie Cleveland the winner and Mike Flanagan the loser. There's the pitch to McCarver, and it's high and away for a ball. It's 1-1. So again, Larry Christenson cranks up a good ball game. But once again, the Phillies do not score for it. Christensen has been the victim of a lack of offensive support just about all season long. He's pitched well. Pitch out and nothing is on. It's 2-1 to Tim McCarver.
The Astros keep pitching out and putting Joe Niekro in a little bit of a hole again. And so far, he's been able to work out of it.
There goes Harrelson. The 2-1 pitch is low, and the throw to second is not in time. Bud just beats the throw. A stolen base for Buddy Harrelson. So he's at second base, and the count 3-1 to Tim McCarver. A close play, but Harrelson made it. His second steal of the year. He has not been caught. Bud Harrelson, Rich, the few chances he gets to play, just seems to do everything right.
He's a good fella to have on that bench. He's in there to pinch run. He just stole the base. I believe that was supposed to be hit and run, but the pitch was so bad, so low and inside, that McCarver figured, well, catcher will have a hard time throwing him out.
Pitch to McCarver is line foul down the left field side. So it's a full count to Tim McCarver, who will try to pull the ball here and get Harrelson over to third base where a fly ball would score him. 1-0 ball game. Houston leading. We're in the 8th. Tim batting for June Sandvin of Philadelphia in our Daily News home run payoff. 3-2 pitch to McCarver. Swings and he misses. He struck him out with a knuckleball. McCarver goes down swinging. A big strikeout for Niekro. That'll be his 5th strikeout. 1 down here in the 8th. And June Sandvin of Philadelphia will get 4 reserve seat tickets to a future Phillies game. That'll bring on Bake McBride. Bake has doubled in 3 trips to the plate. And he'll be batting for Charlotte Boyd, 22nd Street in Philadelphia. Bud Harrelson, second base, 1 down. Niekro stretches, and the pitch to McBride is low, a knuckleball, ball 1. Doug McGraw throwing in the Phillies bullpen. He'll be the Phil's new pitcher in the bottom half of this inning. Niekro stretches, and the pitch to Bake McBride. Swing and a base hit to left center field. Bud Harrelson rounding third. He's going to score. This ball game is tied 1-1. Bake McBride lines a single to left center, and the ball game tied 1 apiece. Charlotte Boyd of Philadelphia will get $20 and 4 reserve seat tickets to a future Phillies game. The Phillies have tied it here in the 8th on an RBI single by Shake and Bake McBride.
Well, they're in a good position here to try to keep it going. They have a good base runner on McBride, and with Niekro throwing that knuckleball, he might try to steal a base.
Here's Larry Bowa. He's batting for Dominic Yulo of Somerdale Road in Somerdale, New Jersey. The pitch to Bowa, swing and a bouncing ball tapped to second. Howe throws for 1. No chance for a relay. Hard takeout slide by Bake McBride, and Landestoy just held onto the ball. Bowa safe at first on a fielder's choice. McBride forced at second base for out number 2. And Dominic Yulo of Somerdale, New Jersey. He'll get 4 reserve seat tickets to a future Phillies game. That'll bring on Garry Maddox. Maddox batting for Eleanor Boyce of Westmont, New Jersey.
Excuse me, Harry. Just going to say that Bowa almost has to try to steal his base. Surprised that he didn't give McBride a chance to go.
Larry Bowa, first base, 2 outs. Maddox has flied out to left, struck out, and walked. 1-1 ball game. Hits are even at 5 apiece. We're in the 8th inning. Once again, Joe Sambito and Ken Forsch get up. There goes Bowa on the first pitch. Maddox fouls it off. 1 strike to count to Garry Maddox. Bowa had a good jump.
Tried Pujols couldn't have thrown him out with a rifle on his shoulders.
So Larry comes back to first base. Two outs, Bowa at first base. And a throw their way, and Bowa gets back. Here's a stretch by Niekro. And another throw to first base, and Larry Bowa back. Now the pitch on the way to Maddox. A well-hit ball to deep left field. This is a big yard, and it's caught at the warning track by Dave Bergman. Maddox hit it deep to left, but caught at the warning track. And Eleanor Boyce of Westmont, New Jersey, you'll get 4 reserve seat tickets to a future Phillies game. And a couple of $20 winners, Floss Murray of East Lansdowne and Charlotte Boyd of Philadelphia. So for the Phils in the 8th, the run scores on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Join us again tomorrow night when in a designated inning. It could win up to $5,000 on Daily News home run payoff. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Phils 1, Houston 1.
You know, most baseball managers are worriers. They worry when they lose, and when they're on a hot streak, they still worry. That's when they worry about the team letting up, getting complacent, forgetting the fundamentals. They know you have to care enough to keep on winning. The brewers of Budweiser think that's worth caring about, too. As popular as Bud is, they still don't let up on the fundamentals. No substitutes for the choicest hops, rice, and the best barley malt. No shortcuts in Bud's long brewing process either, including the extra costly stop of beechwood aging. It's what gives Budweiser the one-of-a-kind, easy taste that's so good anytime. And anytime's the right time, especially right in the middle of a ball game. And that means right now. So go get one, because when you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Play ball with Richard Buick Volvo in Newtown Square. King Richard's got it all. Buicks, Opals, Volvos, leasing. Don't strike out. Save a bundle on all 1978 models. Drive a little, save a lot. Listen to this, a brand new 1978 Buick Electra. Air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, and more. Only $65.99. And talk about leasing. A new 1978 Regal Coupe with factory air, $139 a month, 3-year open-end lease. That's King Richard for a lion-hearted deal on Westchester Pike in Newtown Square.
Tug McGraw, the Phillies' new pitcher. Fine job turned in again by Larry Christenson, but he'll have a no decision for it in 7 innings, charged with 1 run on 5 hits. Jose Cruz, the first one to face Tug McGraw in the bottom of the 8th, swings and he misses at a curveball. Tug's appearing in his 34th game. 1-8, lost 3, saves 7 more, and his earned run average is 2.25. Cruz 0 for 3 is twice grounded out and flied out to right field. Bud Harrelson has stayed in the ball game to play second base for the Phils. Here's a pitch to Cruz, ground ball, base hit left field. So Cruz opens Houston's 8th with a ground single to left. That'll bring on Bob Watson. Watson has struck out, grounded out, and popped up. Jose Cruz, first base. He has good speed. He's stolen 15 bases. He has been caught 5 times. McGraw looks in for the sign from Barry Foote. And the pitch to Watson is a fastball that's high for a ball. 1-0 to Bob Watson. Bill Verdon oftentimes bunts in situations like this, but Watson is their leading RBI man with 55. There's a pitch to Watson, swings away, and pops a foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Watson. Watson to be followed by Art Howe. One pitch on the way is a breaking ball. It's very high for a ball. It's 2-1. Watson steps out. He looks down at Bob Lillis, the third base coach. Here's Doug Stretch. Look at the runner. The 2-1 pitch, swinging a hard ground ball to second, should be 2 to bowl 1, relay, double play. So Watson grounds into a twin killing. Harrelson to Bowa to Cardenal. 2 outs and no base runners. And that'll bring on Art Howe. Howe is singled, walked, and doubled. Pause here for station identification along the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:30, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says it'll clear tonight with some fog forming in the suburbs. The low 64. Tomorrow, sunny and warmer, the high 84. Partly cloudy, 75 degrees at Independence Mall.
Here's Art Howe with 2 outs and nobody on base. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Score tied 1-1. And the pitch to him is a breaking ball that's low and inside for a ball. Wind up by Tug McGraw, and the pitch to Howe is low, a fastball. It's 2-0. Cincinnati has come back after trailing 6-0 to Montreal to take the lead 8-6 at the end of 7 innings of play. George Foster's hit a pair of home runs in that game. Here's a very high pop into shallow right. Bud Harrelson, the second baseman, goes out. He puts it away. And Houston goes down in the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and none left. At the end of 8, the score, Phillies 1 and Houston 1.
Hey, sun's gonna shine all day. Did you hear what the weatherman say? It's time for a toast. It ain't no joke. Sun's gonna shine all day. Hey, sun's gonna shine all day. Coca-Cola, when the midday sun takes over. Okay, it's right, and everybody wants a little. Okay, it's right. Coca-Cola is right.
I'm Tom Hinkle, and I'm a TV reporter. Staying on top of the action makes it tough to stay on a regular schedule. So I need a bank that's ready when I am, and that's Gerard. With George, I can do my everyday banking whenever and wherever I want. George gets around as much as I do. So while I'm keeping up with the news, Gerard keeps me up with my banking. From Doylestown all the way to Society Hill. Now that's coverage.
Night and day, George lets Tom be the banker at Gerard Bank. We're there when you need us.
That St. Louis Frisco game score, I think, is wrong. I think it's 7-6 Giants.
Fans following the Phillies-Braves game on Wednesday, July 26th, the Phils will present a spectacular, colorful sky show, which will incorporate laser beams, fireworks, and music done to the theme of Star Wars. This beautiful sky show has been featured in other stadiums around the country and has been a tremendous hit. So get your tickets now for the Phils-Braves game Wednesday, July 26th, and then stay around for the spectacular sky show. Greg Luzinski leads off for the Phillies' ninth inning. He's 1 for 2 officially, was safe on catcher's interference, is flied out and singled. Niekro's pitch to the bull. Inside, knuckleball, ball 1. 1-0 to Luzinski. He'll be followed by Rich Hebner, then Jose Cardenal. Here's Niekro's 1-0 pitch to the bull, swing and a foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Niekro, who the Phillies knocked out in his last start against them in the first inning, has pitched good baseball here tonight. 1-1 pitch to Luzinski, a knuckleball on the outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luzinski. 1-2 pitch to Greg, another knuckleball, low and away for a ball. It's 2-2. Niekro gets a sign from Pujols. The 2-2 pitch, knuckleball, fouled straight back, and it stays 2-2. Phillies tying run coming in the 8th, an RBI single off the bat of Bake McBride. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Knuckleball is inside for a ball. It's a full count. 3-2 the count to Luzinski, leading off the Phillies' ninth. Niekro's 3-2 pitch. A fastball is skied to right field. Jose Cruz is there in right center and makes the catch. Well, Luzinski got a fastball, but he hit it to right center field where Jose Cruz was playing him. 1 down. Now to bring on Rich Hebner. Hebner's flied out to center, grounded out, and fouled out. Houston, like all of the clubs, plays him well around to the right to pull. 1 out, nobody on base. Richie Hebner steps in. Tomorrow night, in the final game of the series and road trip, will be on both the Phil's radio and television networks. Jim Lombor going against J.R. Richard tomorrow night. Here's a pitch to Hebner, and it's outside for a ball. Back home on Wednesday night against Cincinnati. One-0 pitch to Hebner is inside, ball 2. It's 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Hebner. Another knuckleball falls low, and it's 3-0. 3-0 to Richie Hebner. He looks down at Bill DeMars to see if he can swing 3-0. Here's Niekro's 3-0 pitch. A fastball. He had a green light, and he fouled it into the Houston dugout. 3 balls and a strike to count to Hebner. Ted Simmons has tied up the game at St. Louis with a solo home run in the 8th inning, his 12th of the year. And they moved to the 9th at St. Louis. San Francisco and the Cardinals tied 7-7. The 3-1 pitch to Hebner, swing and a pop-up. It's foul and out of play. Full count to Richie Hebner with 1 out and no base runners. Joe Niekro goes after the rosin bag. Side thought he had a walk. He thought the pitch was high. He's showing Ed Montague where it was. And Hebner has a few words for plate umpire Ed Montague. Hebner called out on strikes. That's the 6th strikeout for Niekro. 2 down here in the ninth. And that'll bring on Jose Cardenal. Cardenal is 0 for 3. He is struck out and twice flied out to right field. Joe Niekro is set. And the pitch to Cardenal is a knuckleball that nearly hit him, ball 1. 1-0 to Cardenal. Niekro looks in for the sign from Pujols. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jose, and it's high for a ball. It's 2-0. To Cardenal. Here's Niekro's 2-0 pitch. Fastball is over at the knees, and it's 2-1. Niekro has thrown primarily knuckleballs. When he gets behind, he'll come in with a fastball. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Jose. Bounce foul toward the Phillies dugout. 2-2 to Cardenal with 2 outs and nobody on base. Phillies have 5 hits off Niekro and 1 run. Astros are running 6 hits. Niekro ready. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jose Cardenal. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a pop foul back up over the screen and out of play. Base 2-2 to Jose. Cincinnati has defeated Montreal 8-6 to final score, coming back from a 6-0 deficit. A couple of home runs in that game by George Foster. Numbers 20 and 21, so he and Greg Luzinski will be battling for the National League leadership in that big 2-game series with Cincinnati on Wednesday and Thursday nights at Veterans Stadium. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Knuckleball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 7 strikeouts for Niekro. No runs, hits or errors, and none left. We move to the bottom half of the 9th inning with the score. Phillies 1 and Houston 1.
In 1977, the Phillies broke one of their club records that had stood for nearly 50 years, 186 homers in 77, easily smashing the 153 homers that set the 1929 record. And speaking of records, last year Lincoln Mercury sales set an all-time record. Look at Lincoln Mercury's lineup and you'll know why. Luxurious Lincoln Continentals to fun-to-run Mercury Bobcats. Your dealer has them all. 2 great lineups for 78, the Phillies and your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Both are looking forward to breaking new records. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer's lineup now at the sign of the cat.
Hey, Culligan man.
We're going to be telling you a lot about your local Culligan water conditioning dealers throughout the Phillies season. Culligan, the world's #1 water treatment company, has dealerships in 100 countries. City water or well water users, if you have water that's hard, staining, bad smelling, or bad tasting, listen. Culligan dealers have equipment specially engineered to solve that problem. You can rent or buy a Culligan water softener, including their exclusive Aqua Sensor, the energy-saving, salt-saving water softener. Your local Culligan dealer is listed in the white pages under C for Culligan.
Well, Tug McGraw out there will try to send this game into extra innings, a 1-1 ball game. Dave Bergman will lead off for the Houston Astros, to be followed by Luis Pujols. And then scheduled to hit would be Joe Niekro, although Ken Porsche is up in the Houston bullpen. National League Finals, Dodgers beat the Cubs this afternoon 4-3. Cincinnati kept pace by downing Montreal 8-6 tonight. Atlanta has defeated New York 3-0 game 1. The Mets lead the second game 4-0. Here's the pitch to Bergman. It's a curveball. It's over for a strike called. Bergman has singled and twice walked. He's a left-hand hitter. McGraw's pitch to him is a fastball that's over at the knees for a called strike. Bergman not too happy with that call. The count is 0-2 to him. Tug McGraw in his second inning in relief of Larry Christenson. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Screwball outside for a ball, 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Bergman, a fastball, swinging a foul ball out of the glove of catcher Barry Foote. And it stays a ball and 2 strikes to Dave Bergman. Houston's run came in the 5th inning on an RBI single by Terry Puhl. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball is high. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball low, a full count to Bergman. American League Finals, Texas over Baltimore 2-0. Milwaukee defeated Chicago 6-1. 3-2 pitch, swing, and a fly ball to left field. Luzinski playing him toward the line. Is there, makes the catch. In fair territory, there's one down. That'll bring on Luis Pujols, the catcher. He's grounded into a double play, grounded out, and flied out to right field. Time is called as Jose Cardenal, Phillies first baseman, needs some equipment repair on his glove. All we have this time, let's check the Major League scoreboard. Kansas City and the New York Yankees now going into extra innings at Yankee Stadium. They're tied 5-5. Minnesota and Boston, 0-0 at the end of 3. Dave Goltz against Luis Pujols. We gave you the 8-6 final, Cincinnati over Montreal. A couple of homers by George Foster, one by Ellis Valentine, one by Tony Perez. Manny Sarmiento won it. And the loser was Stan Bodson. There's a swing and a miss by Pujols. 1 strike to him with 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, we're tied 1-1. Pitch on the way, swings, and he misses at a screwball. 0-2 to Pujols. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out with a screwball. Pujols goes down swinging. First strikeout for McGraw. That's 2 down. And Joe Niekro is going to bat for himself. Pitched a good ball game. And he's going to hit for himself here in the 9th inning. Niekro has singled in 3 at-bats and scored Houston's only run. Pretty good hitting pitcher. Came into this game hitting .250, and he is 1 for 3. There's a pitch by McGraw. Breaking ball is bounced foul off to the left of the plate. 1 strike to count to Joe Niekro. Bottom half of the 9th inning, tied 1-1. One strike pitch to him is inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Here's Tugger's 1-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball, nubbed is short. Boa has it and throws, and Niekro is out. So we're going extra innings. For Houston in the 9th, no runs hit their errors and none left. After the regulation 9, we're tied. The Phils 1 and the Astros 1. Well, we move to the 10th inning of a 1-1 ball game. All tied up. Houston getting their run in the 5th. Phillies tying it in the 8th on an RBI single by Bake McBride. And for more play-by-play here in the 10th, here's Rich Ashburn.
Okay, Harry, about the kind of a game you expect in this Astrodome a 1-1 ball game. Top of the 10th inning now. Barry Foote will lead it off for the Phillies, followed by Bud Harrelson and pitcher Tug McGraw due to bat. Raleigh Eastwick is throwing in the Phillies bullpen. If the Phillies get a runner on here, maybe Danny Ozark will go to a pinch hitter. Joe Niekro all the way for Houston. Gave up the 1 run in the 8th inning. Christensen's run was given up in the 5th inning. Barry Foote, the batter, he's 0 for 3 in the night. Grounded out, struck out, and flied out. Houston playing Foote as a pull hitter. Shifted way around to the left side. If he ever hit a ball down the right field line, he'd run a long time. Niekro with the first pitch to Barry Foote. Fly ball hit well to left center field. Puhl going back, makes the catch. Foote hit it hard to left center, but Puhl making the play in deep left center, almost to the warning track. 1 down on 1 pitch, and the batter will be Bud Harrelson. Harrelson came in the game as a pinch runner for Sizemore in the 8th inning, and he scored the only Phillies run. Bake McBride knocked it in. Phillies only have 5 hits. McBride has 2 of those. Buddy Harrelson, the batter, hitting 200 on the nose. And the Astros defense shifts around to the opposite field. First pitch to Harrelson. Knuckleball is over for a called strike. And right back with a pitch. Low and inside. Ball 1, strike 1 to Harrelson. Tug McGraw is in the on-deck circle. Tug doesn't get to swing the bat very often. Pitch to Harrelson is inside and low again. Ball 2 and a strike to Harrelson. Two-one pitch is low and inside. Ball 3. They don't even have McGraw's hitting statistics on here. Pitch to Harrelson is a called strike.
Maybe he hasn't hit this year.
I guess Tug hasn't been to bat this season. 3-2 the count to Harrelson. Niekro's pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Harrelson gets a 1-out walk, and Mike Schmidt will come out and bat. Mike Schmidt coming out to bat for Tug McGraw. So Harrelson on first.
Pitch for McGraw for 20.
1 out.
Schmidt, that's it.
And the batter, Mike Schmidt. Schmidt batting .246. Schmidt has been a pinch hitter. I think this is his 3rd time since he pulled that hamstring. Still not ready to play. So the Phillies trying to get something going here in the top of the 10th. We're tied at 1-1. Harrelson on first, 1 down. Mike Schmidt, the batter, against Joe Niekro. Houston bullpen has started to work again. Force the right-hander, Sambito the left-hander. Raleigh Eastwick will be the next Phillies pitcher.
2 innings pitched, 1 hit.
Harrelson takes a fair lead off first. Niekro out of the stretch. There goes Harrelson. Schmidt lines it foul. Out of play. Strike 1 on Mike Schmidt. Phillies were either playing hit and run or steal. They don't hit and run with Schmidt too often, but probably was a hit and run because Mike reached out and went after a bad pitch. Strike one on Schmidt. Playing Schmidt as a pull hitter. Well, if the Astros hold the form here, they'll pitch out again. Infield at double play depth. Harrelson with a fair lead again. Pitch to Schmidt. Fly ball left field. Bergman out there hardly has to move at all. Makes the catch. Schmidt is out. 2 outs here in the top of the 10th. Harrelson on first and the batter, Bake McBride. McBride's had a good night, 2 for 4, a single and a double, and he's knocked in the only Phillies run. He's hitting .270. Harrelson might try to steal a base here. Bud has already stolen 1 base in the game. Joe Niekro ready to pitch to Bake McBride. Checks the runner at first, goes to first, too late. Phillies have stolen some bases tonight. Niekro ready again. There goes Harrelson. The throw to second base is late. The throw is into center field, backed up by Puhl. And Harrelson will have to hold at second base. But a head-first slide by Buddy Harrelson, and he steals his second base of the game. So Harrelson on second. 2 outs. Ball 1 to count to Bake McBride. Have a base open here. Looks like they're going to pitch to McBride. Harrelson leads off second. Pretty good lead. Niekro checks the runner. Here's the pitch. McBride fouls it back and out of play. Ball 1, strike 1 to Bake McBride. Tied, top of the 10th inning. Harrelson at second, 2 outs. 1-1 the count to McBride. Niekro sets. The pitch. Swing and a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McBride. And Milwaukee club won again tonight. They beat the White Sox 6-1. Caldwell the winner over Barrios. And that Milwaukee team playing good baseball. Doesn't look like anybody's going to catch the Boston Red Sox, but Milwaukee staying in there in second place. Pitch to McBride. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. Houston batting in the bottom of the 10th. The game is tied at 1-1, and now it's time for a tasty break. Zwick will be the Phillies' new pitcher. Raleigh has a couple of wins, no losses since he joined the Phillies. And he'll face the top of the Houston batting order, Landestoy, Puhl, and Cabell. We're tied at 1-1. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:59, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says we'll have clearing tonight, some fog forming in the suburbs, the low 64. Tomorrow, sunny and warmer with a high 84 degrees. Partly cloudy, 75 degrees at Independence Mall.
And Landestoy stepping in. Landestoy officially is 0 for 3 in the night. Hitting at .241, a switch hitter. This fella can really run. Has tremendous speed. And Houston really looking for a shortstop, hoping he can fill the bill for them. Raleigh Eastwick, first pitch to Landestoy. Inside, ball one. Eastwick will throw the fastball and slider. Once in a while mixes in a changeup. Right back with the next pitch. Ground ball hit to the right of Harrelson. Good play. Throw to first, and Landestoy is out. And he really takes a spill after he crossed the bag. Harrelson had broken to his left. And then the ball hit to his right. He really had to backtrack a little bit. Made a good play on the ball after recovering. Landestoy out on a close play at first. One down. Here's Terry Puhl. 1 for 4 with a single. It's a pop-up on the infield. Bud Harrelson, right back of the second base area, makes the catch, and Puhl is out on one pitch. Eastwick gets a couple of quick outs. And the batter's Enos Cabell, who's 0 for 4 on the night. Typical Houston Phillies ball game here in the Astrodome. Runs hard to come by. 2 outs and nobody on. Phillies play Cabell to hit to the opposite field. He's hitting .273. The pitch to him. Ground ball, deep short. Boa will have to hurry. Quick throw, and Cabell is out. Oh, boy, close play. But Boa gunned him out of there, and the Astros are down in order. At the end of 10 full innings, it's the Phillies 1 and Houston 1.
Pitching for that series in Philadelphia, they've decided to go with Tom Hume in the Thursday game against Jim Cott. In the Wednesday ball game at the Vet at 7:35, Steve Carlton will pitch against Paul Moskow. Here's Boa batting left-handed. Larry has lined out to center, grounded out, popped out to center, and grounded into a force out. Niekro, getting his 14th start tonight, equals the number of starts that he had all of last season. He was a reliever the majority of last year. Here's the right-hander's first pitch to Boa, knuckleball inside, and it gets away from Pujols. He's had trouble with that all night long. All three of the contenders in the Western Division won their games today and tonight. Dodgers beating the Cubs this afternoon 4-3. Next pitch on the way to Boa. Knuckleball over the outside corner, a strike. Cincinnati rallying to beat Montreal tonight 8-6. And the Giants beat St. Louis 9-7. Next pitch to Boa is a grounder. It's on the right side. Watson comes into short hop and tags Boa out as he runs down the line. Boa grounds out to Bob Watson at first base. That's 1 out in the Phillies' 11th inning. Phillies have not had a hit since the 8th inning when they tied the ball game. Here's Garry Maddox. Garry is 0 for 3 tonight with a walk. Last time up, he hit the ball onto the warning track in left field, a shot that surely would have left Veterans Stadium. Maddox batting at .292. The pitch to him, hard hit ball, but one hopped at second by Howe. The throw to first easily in time to get Maddox. Looked like that ball might skip through, but then it hopped toward Howe and he made the play. 2 up and 2 down on the Phillies' 11th, and Greg Luzinski will bat. The ball 1 for 3. He was also on base on catcher's interference, and he got a stolen base. It's a 1-1 ball game in the Phillies' 11th inning. Last time the Phils were here, they lost the first 3 games in that series, and then won on getaway night on a last-inning home run by Jerry Martin. Knuckleball is high to Luzinski, ball 1. Here's Niekro's next pitch to the ball, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Luzinski. Paid crowd in the Dome tonight, 14,397. The Astros are in town just for these 2 games with the Phillies, then they're back on the road. Check swing, Bull takes it low, 3-0. And incredibly, this club will be asked to play 3 doubleheaders in 3 days late this week. Wednesday and Thursday nights at Shea Stadium and Friday night at the Vet. Here's a strike to Luzinski, 3-1 the count. The Astros have been getting quite a few completed ball games. They have 24, second best in the National League, behind Los Angeles and Montreal with 26 apiece. Greg takes high, ball 4. Luzinski draws a walk. The 3rd walk issued by Niekro. So the Phil's a runner with 2 down, and the batter will be Hebner. Jerry Martin is coming out to run for Luzinski.
Jerry Martin, pinch runner, first base. Martin, pinch runner.
Pinch runner Martin taking over at first for Luzinski with 2 outs in the inning. Here's Hebner. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Flied to center, grounded to first, fouled out to first, then struck out. He was pretty unhappy with that strikeout call in the 9th inning. Hebner signaling to Ed Montague at the plate that pitch was high. We've had quite a bit of controversy about some of the pitches called in this ball game. Maddox very unhappy on a knuckleball in which he was a strikeout victim in the 4th. Throw to first base, Martin is back. Here's the set by Niekro. And again he goes to first, Martin back ahead of the throw. Astros got their run in the 2nd inning. Phillies tied it in the 8th. Here's the pitch to the plate, and it's a fly ball into shallow right field. Coming hard is Cruz, but he's there, and he takes it for the out. So the Phillies down in the 11th. No runs, no hits, and 1 left at the end of 10 1/2. Phillies 1, Astros 1. Jerry Martin will remain in the ball game, playing in left field for the Phillies. Raleigh Eastwick will face his 2nd inning of work, and he'll be up against the numbers 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Astros in Cruz, Watson, and Howe. A reminder, the Cincinnati Reds will bring their act to Philadelphia starting Wednesday night. Could well be that Pete Rose will have a 31-game hitting streak by that time. He got a hit tonight to make it 30 straight. The Reds scheduled to play again tomorrow night, and then they'll be in Philadelphia on Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday nights, the ball games will begin at 7:35, and then the Astros come to the Vet Friday night, and that'll be a make-up twilight doubleheader beginning at 5:35. Astros also in town Saturday at 7:35 and Sunday at 1:35. On Sunday afternoon, Poncho Day. Free Phillies ponchos to all kids 14 and under. Phillies have a good home schedule coming up. The only road games they have in this next stretch is a quick weekend series to Cincinnati weekend after next. Jose Cruz will start the 11th for the Astros. He is 1 for 4, a single in the 8th inning. Cruz, a left-handed batter. Here's the windup by Raleigh Eastwick, and the pitch to him. Long drive to deep left field. Bake McBride is back. He's on the track. He leaps. The ball hit the wall, and it is going to be a home run. The ball hit above the red line. That is a home run for Jose Cruz, and the ball game is over. The Astros win the ball game on a home run by Jose Cruz. Final score 2-1. Eastwick makes one pitch in the 11th inning. Cruz sends it out of here to deep right field. His 5th home run of the year, and that makes Houston a 2-1 winner in this ball game. We'll be back with the wrap-up in just a moment.
Well, I remember way back in '52, and those magic moments with Mary Lou, hanging out at the drive-in in my '57 Ford VA.
Rocky, I bet my Ford's better than your Ford.
Oh, yeah? What do you got in that thing?
Yeah, well, I got a new set of champion plugs.
Oh, well. Hey, listen, man, I just remembered I got to get my ducktail trimmed, right?
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Pinto gets better mileage than your Pinto.
Oh, yeah? Tell me, what do you got in that thing?
Yeah, well, I got a new set of champion plugs.
Oh, wow. Hey, I got a split. I just remembered I got to get a hair transplant, all right? Hey, time's changed, man. Buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion, #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
We're back just in time to hear the cannon sound here in Houston that signals an Astro victory, and indeed the Astros did win this ball game on an 11th inning home run by Jose Cruz on the first pitch of the 11th inning by Raleigh Eastwick in his second inning of work. Eastwick had retired the Astros 1-2-3 in the 10th, but a long drive to deep right field that hit just above the red line that encircles the fence out there, just beyond the 340-foot mark. And Cruz picked up his 5th home run of the year and 46th run batted in. So the Astros have won another one-run decision from the Phillies in this ballpark. And the Phils against the Astros this year are 2-5 and 1-4 here in Houston. Phils will be back at him again tomorrow night with Jim Lonborg facing J.R. Richard. Here are the totals in this game for the Astros: 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 8 men left on base. The Phillies 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base. The Astros scored their first run in the 5th inning to take a 1-0 lead as Terry Puhl singled in the run following a hit by Niekro. Phillies tied it in the 8th inning. After Ted Sizemore led off with a hit, he was replaced by Buddy Harrelson as a pinch runner, and Harrelson stole second. He was singled home by Bake McBride, who may have been unconscious for a time earlier in the ballgame. Bake doubled in the first inning and then was picked off at second base. A collision developing there as Bake was picked off on a move to Howe, the second baseman, and he lay stretched in the dirt for some minutes, and he may well have been unconscious. But Bake singled in the only run the Phillies were to get tonight. Niekro going the distance all 11 innings, giving up just 5 hits to win his 6th game of the year against 7 defeats. The losing pitcher will be Raleigh Eastwick, his first loss as a Philly. He is now 2-1. The game played in 2 hours and 35 minutes in front of 14,397 at the Astrodome. Bob West has been our engineer for tonight's game. Our executive producer is Steve Silverman. Phillies baseball is a presentation of the Philadelphia Phillies. And so for Harry Callis and Rich Ashburn, Andy Musser saying so long from the Astrodome. The final score once again: Astros beat the Phillies 2-1 in 11 innings. This is the Phillies Baseball Network.
Phillies baseball has been sponsored in part by Tasty Cake, whose cakes, pies, and cookies give you over 30 delicious ways to take a tasty break. Tasty Cake, all the good things wrapped up in one. And by your Coca-Cola bottler, who reminds you that Coke adds life to baseball and all your favorite sports. Enjoy it often. By Girard Bank, where George lets you be the banker night and day, every day. And by the people with the all-star lineup this season, your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. By Anheuser-Busch, brewers of Budweiser, the king of beers. There's no better way to relax than with the easy taste of Budweiser. And by Geno's, where you get the 100% sirloiner, Kentucky Fried Chicken, crispy fish, and make-it-yourself salad. You'll be feeling good at Geno's. By your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer, where you get grand slam deals on the most complete lineup of new cars in your area.
This is News Radio in the Delaware Valley, KYW 1060, Philadelphia. Our top story of the hour, City Managing Director Levington says the city will decide tomorrow if contempt citations will be sought against those members of ASME
or an apparent defiance of the back-to-work court order. And Mayor Rizzo holds a news conference tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. We'll have live coverage for you right here on KYW News Radio. KYW News Time, 11:17.
It's official. Abington Township has granted building permits numbers 6034 and 6035 to the Marty Sussman Organization, Jenkintown, Pennsylvania, to enlarge the size of its facilities. Well, construction has begun, so it's your opportunity to make a deal on a car or truck you'll be talking about for years. The Marty Sussman Organization must move its entire inventory of new Oldsmobiles, Hondas, Dodges, Mazdas, and trucks. Even custom vans must go to make room for the construction workers and equipment. Now, this is not just another sale. This is a real opportunity to save hundreds of dollars on over 350 cars and trucks and over 100 used cars. We're not kidding around. There are no gimmicks, no restrictions. All in-stock cars and trucks are eligible. Even special deals on hard-to-get Hondas and Mazdas. Inventory must be moved immediately to make room for new construction during this truly we-mean business sale. That's Marty Sussman Olds Honda and Marty Sussman Dodge Mazda, Jenkintown, Pennsylvania.
And now Tasty Cake is proud to present the Tasty Cake Wrap-Up Show with facts and figures of tonight's game and an exclusive interview with the star of the game. So grab a Tasty Cake. There are more than 30 delicious kinds to choose from. Relax in your easy chair and get into the 1978 baseball season with Tasty Cake and the Phillies. All the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. All of the things wrapped up in one.
Back at the Astrodome in Houston, where Houston has won the ball game in 11 innings by a score of 2-1. Our star of the game is Houston winning pitcher Joe Niekro. He went all the way, all 11 innings, and Niekro recording his 6th win of the year. A fine job by him as Houston came up with a home run off the bat of Jose Cruz in the 11th to win it. And Joe, quite a difference from your last start in the Astrodome against the Phillies when you didn't get out of the first inning.
Well, Harry, yeah, there was quite a difference. The first part of the year, I was struggling quite a bit, and I was having trouble getting my knuckleball over the plate. And when I went to my fastball and curveball, I couldn't get that over either. But tonight, I was getting ahead of the hitters quite a bit, and had a good knuckleball, and I was getting it over. And being a knuckleball pitcher, I think the big thing is, you got to get the first or second pitch on the hitter over the plate. And if you can do that, then they got to protect the plate a little bit more. But if the hitters know that you can't get your knuckleball over, they can just wait back and wait for your fastball.
Joe, last year when you were finally put into the starting rotation, you had 13 starts, I believe, you had 14 starts and 9 complete games, and you must like starting pitching.
Well, yes, I do. I figure the best, the way I can help our ball club the best is me starting or in short relief. I think a knuckleball pitcher's got to pitch regularly, either every 4 or 5 days, or coming out of the bullpen, maybe pitching 3 or 4 days in a row and a day off. Because it's a pitch where you got to have that feeling in your fingertips for the knuckleball, and pitching regularly is about the only way you can keep it.
Of course, your older brother Phil is known for his knuckleball, but in your career, did you always throw it? It seemed to me like early in your career that you didn't use it all that much, did you?
No, I originally signed as a fastball slider pitcher, and I went to the knuckleball probably about 1971, 72. I went to winter ball and worked on it, and this got cut off. Okay. You back?
Yeah, okay. We can hear you now.
And I went to winter ball and worked on it, and I had a good winter ball that year, and I come back to spring training with Detroit, and I worked on it in spring training, and I got sent down that year, and then I got traded to Atlanta, and I worked on it then. I got sent down again, and I think it was 1974. I had a good first 2 months in AAA, and I got back to the big leagues, and then I got traded over here to Houston, and that was, I think, a turning point, just coming over here where I could pitch regularly.
I guess we can assume that you learned your knuckleball from Phil, huh?
Well, yes, I think both of us learned it from our father. And when we were growing up together, Phil originally signed with the knuckleball. And when we first started throwing it, Phil was a little older than I was, and his hands were a little larger. And when I tried to throw it, I just couldn't get the good grip on a baseball. So I just went with the conventional pitches. And after I pitched a few years in the big leagues, and I always messed with it. I didn't throw it consistently, but now, like I do now, but I always messed with it, and I went in the outfield and threw it every day, and seen what Phil did, and Wilbur Wood, and guys like Coy Wilhelm, and it's kept me in the big leagues.
Do you hold it the same way as Phil?
Yeah, we hold it the same way, and we might hold it with maybe just a little bit different, but not that big of a difference.
Well, Houston got the first run of this ball game in the 5th inning when our star of the game, Joe Niekro, led off with a base hit. He was sacrificed to second base, and that brought to the plate Terry Puhl.
Puhl, base hit up through the middle. Niekro rounding third. He's going to score, and Houston leads in the ball game 1-0.
So, Joe Niekro, you helped yourself with a base hit, and I see you were hitting .250 going in. You kept that average alive with 1 for 4. And have you always been a decent hitter?
Well, I like to go up there and take my swings, and, I don't like to... I kind of, have a little pride in my hitting. I don't like to strike out too much. I just go up and I look for a pitch to hit, and I, try to hit it and hope it goes in for a base hit.
And the Phillies tied it then in the 8th inning when Ted Sizemore led off with a base hit. Bud Harrelson came in to pinch run for him, and he stole second base. Then Tim McCarver struck out, and that brought to the plate Bake McBride.
Niekro stretches, and the pitch to Bake McBride. Swing and a base hit to left center field. Bud Harrelson rounding third. He's going to score. This ball game is tied 1-1.
Joe, it was a second hit for Bake McBride and 4 at-bats, and I was a little interested in the 10th inning after Harrelson walked and stole second base with 2 outs. Bake McBride, the hitter, and you went right after him. A lot of times they'll walk Bake in that situation, figuring that Boa's not, if he does get a base hit, it's going to be tough to score from second base, but I guess that didn't come up at all, huh?
Well, being a knuckleball pitcher, I was just going to go after him, and if I walked him with 4 knuckleballs, I walked him, but, Bake is a good knuckleball hitter, and he goes after and he just tries to lay his bat on the ball, and the first 2 hits he got off me, the knuckleballs were up, they moved, but they was up, and the time in the 10th inning when I struck him out, I just threw him a good knuckleball, and he went down, straight down, and he swung and missed, but he's the type of guy that, a knuckleball pitcher doesn't like to see come up there because he just tries to go with the pitch and lay his bat on the ball.
You talk about Bake being a good knuckleball hitter. What hitters in the league would you say are good knuckleball hitters? Who gives you trouble?
Well, Tony Perez, Montreal's a good knuckleball hitter. Steve Garvey's a good knuckleball hitter. The guys just go up there and just look for the ball and don't try to hit it out of the ballpark. And you take the guys that are free swingers. I think knuckleball pitchers like to see those guys come up because they don't. I don't think they follow the ball that much. They try to hit the ball in its seats. But you take guys that just go up there and punch the ball or wait well, like Perez and Garvey do, and they go the other way with the knuckleball. Them are the kind of guys you have to worry about.
And I guess another hitter like that is Ted Sizemore, who got a couple of hits off you tonight.
Yeah, Teddy, he hits me pretty well all the time. I don't strike him out too much, and it's funny because on that, right before that inning started, I looked at our shortstop, Landestoy, and I was going to move him about 2 steps towards second base. And I said, well, that's where Virgin put him, and I just left him there. And I think if I would have moved him, we might have got Teddy out.
Yeah, that's right. How many confrontations have you and Phil had head-to-head?
Well, we've started against each other 5 times in our career.
Is that right? Yeah. How do you stand with him?
I won 3 and I've lost 2. He won 2.
Didn't you or Phil hit a home run? Didn't you hit a home run off Phil?
Yeah, I hit a home run down in Atlanta 2 years ago off him, and it was just one of those knuckleballs that moved well, but it moved high. It just stayed in the strike zone, and I was just surprised. I think he was more surprised than I was, or I was more surprised than he was. I don't know. I just swung and went out of the ballpark.
What happened when you were circling the bases? Did he look at you? No.
I don't know. I didn't look at him. I just put my head down and circled the bases.
Was your dad there to see it?
No, he wasn't there.
Joe, how about with the rookie catcher? Is it difficult for you? You've got Luis Pujols behind the plate now. Does it make any difference as far as you are concerned who you pitch to?
Well, he's doing a good job with me. The first start I had against San Diego, he had a little shaky time. I think he had 2 or 3 pass balls in 1 inning, but since then he's been catching me in the bullpen between starts, and when I go down and warm up before the game, he comes down and he catches me, and he's doing a real good job with it.
Well, this ball game was won in the 11th inning with Jose Cruz led off the 11th, facing Raleigh Eastwick, and here's what happened.
Cruz, a left-handed batter. Here's the windup by Raleigh Eastwick, and the pitch to him. Long drive to deep left field. Bake McBride is back. He's on the track. He leaps. The ball and it is going to be a home run. The ball hit above the red line. That is a home run for Jose Cruz, and the ball game is over.
I don't know if you saw the pitch, Joe. It almost looked like it was high and out of the strike zone, and he tomahawked that pitch.
Well, no, I didn't see the pitch. I was getting a drink of water, but I asked Deacon Jones, and he said it was kind of over his head, and he just kind of, like he said, tomahawked it. And I think it would have been a ball if he didn't swing at it.
Well, you went 11 innings. How many innings do you think you could have gone if this game went on?
Well, I felt pretty good, and it was up to Bill what he was going to do in the 12th inning when I come up to bat, or even the 11th inning if we got a few men on. And I thought I could have went a couple more because I don't think I threw that many pitches, and I didn't have a lot of men on, and when I did have them on, I got out of the jam. So I think I could have went a couple more innings.
Joe, thanks ever so much. Congratulations on a fine job, and very best to you.
Thank you, Harry. My pleasure.
Joe Niekro, our guest, and all of our guests on the Tasty Cake Wrap-Up Show receive a gift from the Mitchell Daroff Clothing Showrooms, 417 North 3rd Street in Philadelphia, the Rosemont Village Mall in Rosemont, and the Stock Room in Quakertown. We'll be back to check the Major League scoreboard in a moment. Now it's time for a tasty break.
Tasty cake is a day in spring, a brand new love or a golden ring. Tasty cake is the morning sun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one. You and me, tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Just like Phillies fans look forward to seeing fresh new faces in the lineup, Tasty Cake fans look forward to seeing fresh new faces in the Tasty Cake lineup. And this year, Tasty Cake has something really special for you. New apple-filled crumb cakes. Spice cake cupcakes filled with real apple jelly and topped with buttery crumbs. Treat yourself to the newest member of the Tasty Cake lineup, family packs of apple-filled crumb cakes. They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Back at the Astrodome in Houston, let's check the Major League scoreboard. The Phillies keep their 4.5-game lead because the Cubs lost this afternoon to Los Angeles 4-3. Terry Forster was the winner. The loser was Rick Russell. Reggie Smith hit a pair of home runs, number 14 and 15 for Reggie. In Atlanta, the Braves won the first game 3-0 over the Mets behind Larry McWilliams. The rookie pitcher got his first start, and he wanted to